Can you guys hear me okay, or is there anything wrong with the audio? It looks kind of weird right there. Does that sound okay? Let me know if it sounds okay. It was messing with me just right before I went live there. Okay, good. All right, so I think XRP is putting a little candle in. Okay, so it's wicking up right there in that 4-6. Okay, so I wanted to let me slide this away right now. I think that's the only one kind of doing something right now. I'm going to show you how it's either we're about to start and it's going to continue its slip, or there's going to be a delay. So obviously this just came in like moments ago. Let me look at it on a 5-minute or something, or 10-minute candle. Yeah, just literally 10-20 minutes ago that just pushed up in there, but whatever. It's fine. They always wick back down and stuff, so I just let it do its thing. But let's go back to this 1 hour. Actually, I'm gonna go to the 23 hour first, and we'll start up there, and then we're gonna zoom in and watch this on the detailed level. 23 hour. Okay. All right, so this is where it's really interesting right now, especially with some of them have been pushing up right here. You know, like I'll show you in a second, but this setup obviously is still very sketchy, and we could be see this like arc here. We could be doing that. That's what's happening right here again. So let me. There was 1, 2, then there was the 1, 2, and it was that. So let me go to this real quick here. Yeah, look at it right now, the way it's sitting right there. Either it's going to get rejected or it's going to let it slide through, right? And if it slides through, it's going to get nasty. It's going to do the drop. It'll start dropping again like this. So what we're going to do is let's go side by side 23 hour. Let's turn this to a 23 and let's look at that details of that. So we can spot that if it's gonna be a delay, meaning like, all right, we're gonna delay for a little bit here. We're gonna be you know, pushing up a little bit, and then, you know, people can make trades and stuff if they want to. Yeah, see, the thing is, it's so hard right now because they're not fully identical. But if you look at gosh, I hate how this is. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit just to keep it off that yeah, I want to keep it off the these buttons, because they put those buttons there. And it's hard for you guys to see when I'm speaking about like it. Okay, so this is the 23. So I was looking. You're gonna see it's gonna get a little interesting here when it comes down. So this is saying where we're kind of at right here on the MACD. We're it's right now. It's kind of showing like, are we getting rejected? What's going on right here? Are we gonna fake out and like go up, or are we gonna go down and crash this? If so, you can see we'd be sitting right here on the RSI as well, right? So like right here, we'd be slipping. If we slip this RSI and slip and pierce it, it's going to pull it down. It's going to pull it down, and we're going to probably get into the 20s very quickly, and then we can get that sub 20, and then we could start. I'm going to start buying back in on XRP. So I shorted. I'm like at a position where I'm like, I'll short. I don't even care. I'm just kind of numb to it because I just and I'll just give you a quick reason why, is because I'm like, you know what, man, it's all about ROI to me. So if like it goes up and it goes to $1 or something, it's, you know, like let's say it goes up here to $1, you know, that's like, we'll just call it like 100% return on your money. And I'm just like, I can, you know, I'll just go get that somewhere else if that's what I'm looking for. So for me, I'm not telling you guys to do this. Just for me, it doesn't matter to me anymore with it, because once again, I have a good career that my real estate business that I have, it's been going on for a while. So it's easy for me to do things like this, because when you're making, you know, you can easily make over 100, 150, $200,000 a year just slinging some houses. You start really rolling the dice on stuff like this and being like, you know, man, I got cash, I'm liquid. I mean, I'd rather just, you know, I would hate to put it in a lot in and then it cuts me in half, when I can just be patient and not try to push things and not try to, you know, in a way be greedy. So not telling you guys to play it like me. Once again, I don't care if it goes up for me, but if it goes down, I'm going to strike, because that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to grab. So when you come over here to the stochastic, you can see that, you know, at this bottom here, kind of where we're at right now, but it'd almost say like this 23-hour candle would be it, if it would start here, because we'd have to break through this. I mean, it's not going to be identical, but we'd be breaking through this and through the red, so it'd be through the blue and through the red, right? and that could happen here within the next literally day or two. So it'd be happening very, very soon. Okay. And I'll read your guys' stuff in a second. So just if you want to hold off on anything, give me a second. I'll let you know when I'm staring at this over here. So let's just go in here a little bit deeper and just look at it and see what it looks like. I'll just jump to an 8 hour and just see how the 8 hour looks. So let's go to the 8 hour and see what it's looking like. Once again, it's not supposed to be identical, because look right here on the 8 hours shows that this 50 is well underneath the blue over here, and we haven't started. I mean, there's still another fall here, which would mean that we are, we would be something like, let me slide it like this. Yeah, it's like drawing it out a little bit. We would be like in here. We just haven't, we'd be down here where my cursor is, right? But look, I'm going to drop a line there. I'm going to pop, let me see if I have anything in the way. Let me swap that out. I don't want to, that's that work we did the other day. I don't want to, I'll just use this one. I don't want to mess with it. If I take this vertical line and I say, okay, we're doing something like that, which would be right here, right? We haven't even broke down yet. I'm going to pop a line there. All right. So look where that's at on the chart. Okay. It hasn't, the first fall hasn't even happened right here, which was, this is pretty nasty. I think this one would be nasty too. So that's a 50%. So if a 50% happens, you know, we're easily. So don't let this chart sizing fool you. If it wants to run it, it'll run it that way. Yeah, I mean, you can see I'm down into the 20s if that happens. So this is showing that possibly on the stochastic, or the RSI and the stochastic down there. And even we can say the MACD is that we're in a position that this thing could just continue as it moves over today and tomorrow. That's when it should happen. So what I'm telling you guys is that if this thing is going to happen, it needs to happen soon. It can't be delaying too long, because otherwise it's going to just push it out more. So I think I'm going to go down here into a little deeper level here. Let's go to a 4 hour for right now, and then we'll cut over. So here goes the 4 hour, and this is where I thought on that reading that we were just looking at on the 8 hour, this is kind of where it was putting us. Sure enough, man. I mean, it's still in a once again, it doesn't need to be identical. We're tied up right now in this little area right here. We're about to get into the moving averages in a second more, which is going to get a little clearer. Once again, if it pierces down, if it starts to reverse down, and this 46 cents starts through the night, going down to 45, 44, 33, and then now it's pulling down like this, then that's what we're going to have. Let me just pull this back, and you can kind of see. We would be thinking that this arc here at this edge is what's going to happen. Let me slide down even to a smaller scale here. Let me go to a 3, see what the 3 looks like. As you keep going, you'll start to see where you can almost be like, okay, I think that's probably where we're hanging out at. All right, see, now the moving averages are now back in position. So the 4 didn't really show up, but the 3 now has us literally right over where I had the 8 hours. So the 8 hour is saying that we're somewhere right around here before the fall, which is where we're at right now. So that's why I go through every time scale, because if one says, oh, no, it doesn't look like it, we'll go through them all, because the next one might look like it. And that's when it's going to be like, oh, I see. Okay, look at the moving averages. So let's take off the lights here for a second and just see where we're at. So we're in the middle right here? Is this where we're at? I mean, we're hovering above piercing the RSI, right? So once again, this needs to reject. It can't curl up here. If it curls up here, then either it could I guess it always can curl up and curl down. So it becomes a very tough situation to say, all right, well, if it starts pushing, then it's probably not going to roll over right now. It's not going to. It's going to be another, whatever we call it, a delay or whatever. That it's because I think all the gaps get cleared. That's the big thing. Gaps get cleared. This thing comes back down. That's just what I think happens. So we would then be, let's say we're sliding up right here. We're doing this move right here, where this ends up rolling over on the 3 hours. So let's kick this back on. Let's go down to a 2 hour and see what the 2 hour looks like. Okay, so the 2 hour now has the moving averages yellow, blue, red. What do we have? 45.9 right now. Let me see, where is the fall? It's over here. Okay, so now they're in a different position. Once again, though, the 200 is the where the 200's at and why it's under here. The where, let me take that off. It's just been, it's running down on this like slant right now, and this is starting to max out up here, which could be an indication on the 2 hours, like, all right, let's go down. Now we're going to turn this down, which would turn this down, which would start turning everything down again, which would mean we're something like here actually, and we're going to start rolling over because the 8 hours shows that it could be that way. Let's go to a 1 hour and see what the 1 hour looks like. The 1 hour, I think, becomes very interesting. Okay, so the 1 hour now, the 50's coming through the blue and the red. We're maxed out at the top here. I mean, we're getting a little candle right here, but does this candle in 28 minutes close differently? Does it pull back down and everything starts rolling over? Well, let's see what this 1 hour looks like over here to see what this looks like. Okay, so now what we have here is, once again, now where that blue line is that I have, now this is all matching up. Look at that. At the 1 hour scale, see the moving averages where the yellow's coming through the red right here. Hold on 1 second. Hey, I'm on a live stream. Can I call you back in just a second? Alrighty, bye bye. Okay, so as it's coming through right here, that's what we're doing right now to like this moment, is that we're sliding through right now. So if that's the case, and maybe this inverse head and shoulders, look at this. Hold on, let's look at this for a second here. So this came down. All right, look what I just discovered just by looking at this. All right, so we come down, we tap the red here underneath. Once we broke down underneath these moving averages, we tapped the red, and then we came up underneath the red, right? So look at that. Let me put this on here. Let me go here. This is where, where's my other, there it is. Okay, so this movement right here, I'm just gonna put like a 1 here, right? Would be that first movement, right? Dude, Nicholas, I'm going to go over Ampleforth and I'm going to go over UTK. I'm having a very tough time in my mind because I think Ampleforth could do something that's so incredibly large that to me it's like the risk is worth just leaving money on it, because I think it can pop up to some crazy number, man. I really do, and it'll do it fast. I'm going to go over that in a second. So if you guys want to see what I'm doing on Ampleforth and on UTK, I think some of these can be like, man, I'm just trying to play it the best, man. I've made a lot of money back, man, and I'm in profits really good right now. So it's like the worst thing, the last thing I want to do is jeopardize what I've already just worked my butt off for. So the game, for me being patient, that's where I'm like, I'll just be patient. I'm not going to sweat it, because if what I do think happens, which a lot of these gaps get filled, I'm like, I literally went at that moment. I know I won. That very moment that everything starts pulling down, in my mind, I'm like, I just won. I just made one of the best plays that I could make. I was patient, and I took everything that I was making, and I just put it on the sideline, even though I didn't time the top. So I'll talk about that in a second after this. So here we are, and I'm looking at this scenario right here, just the way we broke down. We tapped that, we came up, and then we fell underneath, right? And I'm like looking at I'm just kind of looking at the behavior, like, okay, well, what is it looking like right here? Are we kind of stair-stepping down, you know? And is there an inverse head and shoulders here? So, I mean, we could say, I mean, is this where we're at right here? This move? Is this move? Either way, I see us getting underneath this 200 right here, which is what we're at. We're underneath the 200 right here. So there's a chance that this move right here that we're under the 200. So I'm talking about that red line. You see how we're under the red line now? And now that we're under the red line, the yellow's coming through. So then we might say, well, let's read this yellow coming through this line right here. That says that we're right here. Does that look like it more so? I would say, yeah, that's probably more of what we're probably looking at here. So let's remove this guy right here. And remember, we got this line that was helping us. So is this inverse head and shoulders that I'm looking at right here, this? And we're just pushing up right here at this edge right here, playing around right here on this wick, and everything's about to unfold and fold over. There's a possibility that this formation, let me erase these, remove drawings, let's remove this guy right here, that this behavior here, the way this is drawing, is this guy right here, okay? And however we want to look at these falling down, we might just be here. I mean, there's a chance that little fractal right there is here, and we're about to slip down and then slip down some more. So we typically could just be right up there at that point, you know, where I said, okay, well, we come down, we tap the red 200, then we come through it, which would mean we're right here. All right, so I'm going to go down to a 30-minute. I haven't done that yet, but there's a chance that that little guy is this formation right here, which would mean that we would start falling down, as you see with the moving averages. This is why I'm saying if it's going to start, we're going to watch it start like right now. Like we're going to be very dialed in. This is when these don't always happen. I mean, I make my mistakes, but there's some times where when it does happen and I do nail it down, the timing, the drawing, everything becomes very precise, where it's like, wow, we're watching this unfold. It's because we locked in on it. We finally locked in, we read it right, and now we're locked in on it. So there's a chance that this line right here, it's either here or here, because the moving averages, we can't use that for like precision to say, oh, this is very precise. We got to go off the moving averages. We can't really do that, but they are a good guider to let us know that it is rolling in the same direction, the right direction, because if the candles are going to come through before the moving averages even happen. So if this candle keeps slipping, it's at 45.8 now. It's just one of those ones, maybe baited some people in, maybe liquidated some people, who knows what it was doing. And then it starts slipping some more, and this comes down, because this is already at on the stochastic right here. This can slip down. If this slips into the R down here and breaks and pierces that 30 on that RSI, this is bleeding. You're going to get the bleed. It's going to happen for XRP. So if you're trying to make a play on this and you want to pick up some more XRP, there's a chance that we're at one of these low points here and it's going to continue to slip down. We just haven't fully seen it yet. So if you go back to the 23 hour, and I'm going to jump back in a second, go back to like a 23 hour and look at these. Remember, I'm looking up here. I'm looking up here saying that we're coming down. Right? What typically, if this continues, this trend, and that other thing, that 200 moving average, if that continues, this might be a more drastic bleed than this one was. If you think this was bad, like I even made the comment to some people, and I'm just like thinking in my head, I'm like, if you think this move right here was bad, this could be worse, because one, this is creating a lower high. I mean, that would mean that this can come down here. I'm telling you, man, this thing can come sub 15 cents, and people are going to be like, what the hell's happening? And I'm like, well, there's gaps down here, all below here. This all makes perfect sense to me. It just doesn't seem that way in the heat of the moment. So if this continues to roll over, this is the moment that it would do it. It would do it now. It wouldn't do it later. It would do it now. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. I'm going to go to a 30-minute. Actually a 45-minute. I want to see what the 45-minute looks like against this. So, you know, the next several hours, if like 24 hours, 48 hours, I mean, we need to see some sort of, otherwise I'm going to have to look at it and say, okay, well, there might be more of some bullish like running up and pushing up that we can make plays on, you know. I'd feel more confident in doing so. So, yeah, see, when you look at the 45 and 45, we haven't even had the blue cross the red yet, right? And it would have to. And it would have to do it at a good angle. It would have to keep coming down like this. So this would need to start slipping down, and it would have to slip back down, not push up, which shows us that this shows that we're right here. So, or actually even, yeah, see, we're in between, because we can't go off these moving averages too much because they're not fully slipping through. But if you look at it from this perspective, and I just kind of pull it back, I mean, you guys can tell, like, you're like, this looks kind of sketchy. Yeah, it looks like, you know, that we're slipping off this edge here, and it could pull down here. And I'm a big fan of, you know, now closing, you know, getting to wicks. These wicks are signs. Didn't come all the way down and eat up this wick. And as you guys know, there's wicks back here that didn't get finished down here. Those are wide open. So there's a strong possibility that it's going to come back down to this way. Plus have the gaps. You know, I just don't want to. I want to bet on these things, even if it takes time. Can make some good buys. So that's the 45. I mean, now we're getting into real like low detailed here. So let's go to a 30-minute. But then I got more for you after this. Isn't where it stops. I got some other stuff I want to look at, because I'm looking at over here. That 80K is showing me something with Bitcoin and stuff. This would all have to come through the same. You see, I'm looking at this pattern, right? You know, it's like this inverse head, and I'm just looking at the way that is drawing, and I just can't help but look like that it's doing this. you know, where this would be my blue line right here in the middle. So if I was to mark it, I would mark my blue line in the middle like that. And I would look at it this way and say, well, this is like, we're just pushing up on the edge here. I know it pushed through, but I would think that it rolls over. That would be my thing. The drop off. Let me see what some of you guys are saying real quick. What's up, Dr. Dawit? Hey, Chris, I'm a long-time lurker of yours. Would you be able to look at theta and T-fuel to see if you see any gaps? Yeah, I'll pull those up. I think I got some on theta. I'll check T-fuel, but it'll be later after. But you know, I appreciate this, Chris. You're welcome, Espresso. A quick question: how come no one else sees this? It seems like everyone else is blind to XRP going down. They don't want to believe it, Pogue. You know, I want it to go up. I obviously, that's the main goal here. At the end of the day, is going up. But I once those gaps started coming in, it just really made me look at it differently, and I became really bearish for the short, you know, for the moment, saying, you know what, man, I'm not going to be caught off guard again. I don't care if I miss a little bit of gains here. I'm going to say stay safe. But yeah, they just, because by this going down, they're quitting the job. And it's, and no offense to anybody here when I say this, a lot of people, and I see it all the time, they're like, I can't wait to tell my, you know, my boss to fuck off or something. Not really what you want to do to throw out those kind of vibes, but you know, I'm going to get rich and I can quit and I can do all these things. And I just look at that and I'm like, you know, by all means, yeah, people are going to be successful, but when there's a herd and there's a big group going in that same direction and all saying the same thing and they're going to be quitting their jobs and stuff, I'm just like, I don't know if that's, I mean, maybe it happens. I don't know, man. It just seems like I add that to this fire and I'm like, you know, you got celebrities, you got, you know, we're still kind of in this weird pandemic with things going on. You got, you know, like I said, the celebrities saying stuff, and then you got Dogecoin being like manipulated and pumped up, and I'm just like, something ain't adding up to me. I need to watch out here, because if I roll with the masses and I roll with the herd on this one, I might get burned and my portfolio might get sliced pretty quickly. So just watch out for that, man. By all means, have fun, make some plays if you guys want, but I wouldn't turn your head to the gaps. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep on going here. And just get my money back. Yeah, Rode, Qcoin decided to delist it. What's weird with the Rode, Mick, real quick, is my buddy is up, he's up $11,000 on it. In the other exchange. I'm like, the other exchange has Rode worth way more, like almost 5 times the amount. So anyways, we'll look at some other stuff after this here. I'm wanting to read XRP as best as possible here. So anyways, 30-minute, I think that we'd be creating, we came down here, we're creating this arc here, so we'd be up here hanging out or something, right? And it would roll over. So if that happens, I would expect it to be happening in the, literally, you'll start to see it. It should start to slip down. We should start getting down into the lower 40s, and then it'll quickly start getting in the 30s, and we can probably get into the 20s pretty quickly. So I'm going to back out of this a little bit, go back to like a 3 hour. I like the 3 hour. I was looking at that. Remember, we got this 200 moving average like arcing over, but we got to watch out if it wants to kick back up. It can. We're going to see who is going to do that and who's not going to do that. So, but yeah, if you look at the 3 hour, we're wedged in the middle. If this it's super sketchy. Like, to me, like, everything's not fine right now. All right, it can easily, in that candle right now is still an hour and 15 minutes. If that candle is just a balanced candle, nothing crazy right now, this can just literally do this, start rolling over, boom, 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 right? So there are some other assets that are actually, like, if I look at them, they look a little different. But let's grab let's go to like algo and see what that looks like. All right, let me remove these lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to compare this to other ones. Are they looking like they should fall? You know, so we'll just start with like well, let's look. We can look at ADA, which I don't think it's going to be set up the same way, but ADA has been very quiet for a little bit of time. You can see it's just kind of, yeah, you see what ADA is doing. The moving averages are in different spots, but it's still in a position because it's obviously up high. It's still been like very calm for pretty much all of March, you know. So we're going to be going on 2 weeks of it just like kind of chilling. So did it hit its top? It's ready to roll over. We'll see here soon. When we look at algo, let me turn the lights off there with the drawings. You can see algo is in the same position. You got the 200 coming over. So algo is showing like, hey, I'm ready to roll over too if we're going to do that. But if you go to like UTK, UTK is like, well, no, I'm cool. We can go up if we want to go up. However, see, look at UTK. UTK has its moving averages going in a different position. UTK is treating this cup a little different. However, let me do it this way. Look at this. Look at the difference in like the cups. Like the behavior right here is like, this is pushing up. This one is like, no, I'm kind of hanging out. So how do you read this properly? You know, who's following who here? Well, the truth is sometimes they can follow each other. Let me see if I got these. Yeah, look. See how they're like hanging out together? And then that, you see how that pushed up first? And then we pushed up. And then we fell together. And then we did a triple cup sideways. You see it? 1, 2, 3. I mean, this is straight programming. This isn't organic at all, guys. This is why I read it this way. So is there a chance that we're running sideways and XRP can slide up and do that move? Absolutely. However, we're about to look at why. Is there a chance that this can fall and this can fall at this point? Yes, that's the other opposition, is that just because they're rolling together right now, and yes, they've kind of moved some moves here and did some moves here. Let me see something back here. Pop. Yeah, you can see they're definitely different in many ways. This is why I read fractals, is because I can catch one out front. This is why I think Cage is doing really good. So Cage is using the same method that that we've learned about reading this, and he's reading it this way. I'm trying to see if that little move there was this and it was longer, so this whole little move here, boom, pushed up first, XRP pushed up, boom, and it runs. They end up meeting up at this area together. This kind of draws a cup, the same move right here, and now it's drawing this down cup. This one's pushing up. We haven't pushed up, so it's like, all right, do we push up? However, that's just this fractal. Let me go to what is TRX doing? See, TRX isn't doing anything. We hit that the same. Hit this the same. Gosh, this one's so close to the same. We're drawing the same thing. It's sickening. Gosh. So now this one's in the same position too as us. So this one, if anything, oh, dude, they just adjusted on me. Sorry. I was like, see how it says Tron and Tron? It must have adjusted on accident. I was like, dude, these things are the same. There we go. But still, Tron hit that point up there first. We kind of ran up, hit the boom. Triple cup sideways down. That's what's funny to me, is they're all doing that right there. You see those triple cups right there? 1, 2, 3, and you can see it right here easily. 1, 2, 3, and you can see them printing the same. So all running on the same system at the time. They're definitely playing with these. I feel like when I say they, there's like humans now like playing with this stuff to send them in certain directions when they want. I feel like they can read. They know who's in what, so they'll send certain ones in and out. They know where all the money's at, it seems, or the bulk of it, or AI is just doing it itself. All right, so why I'm going to show you how that this is all still fine. Where, yeah, see this thing's this candle's now pulling back, which is why I need to keep this up here too, and keep watching this so I don't lose sight of the 23. Remember, the 23 hours shows that we arc over. So if this is true, I'm going to keep this up just to keep this thing in locked in right here. To say, are we going to curl over? And this thing does a little dumpski. All right, so keep in mind how some of them are like Bitcoin right now. You see how they're double topping? Here's ADK. And let's put ADK next to XRP first, right? And then we'll go through some of these. So this is how it would work. Why is UTK pushing up and XRP not, right? Can they still just roll over? Who's right and who's wrong? Well, I think this might be a very strong indication that this is what's happening, because this is an 80% fall. That's not some light move that an asset has made, especially when it's been following very closely, which I'm about to show you in a second, to like Bitcoin and stuff. Like they're both in sync. So if if this is true, where XRP can push up and do that, but then it would roll over. So let me go to, but it doesn't, once again, it doesn't have to. It can just roll over right now. And this move right here, let me show you. Let me do this. This move right here is this in here. All right, so this like sliding up like that is this. See this line here? We just didn't have that strong of a line there. So if XRP pushed up like that and then did it, right, you guys would probably look at it and be like, oh yeah, it is this. It's looking like a lot closer, and then it could slip like that and fall. So there's just, this is where reading sometimes is a little bit more difficult, because you have to take a lot of assets and look at why is this one doing this and why is this one doing that. Let me get that out of there. Let me go back to Bitcoin. Or actually, let me do UTK. Okay, so we're gonna go to UTK. Okay, so UTK is pushed up and created this cup here. All right. So as you can see, I'm trying to size it up where it looks similar. All right. Let's see if I can turn this on. Okay, so when this came down, this move right here, and it sliced through is this. Okay, so it came down and it sliced through, and then it did its move and then pushed up. So this one came up, pushed up, and it ends up pushing up. So it ends up sending the moving averages through. You see how the yellow comes through like that? So the yellow is coming through, the red is kind of like running like here, and then the blue one came through like right there. So what I'm showing you guys is they don't have to be identical, and they shouldn't be identical by any means. It's nice when they are. But if this is true, XRP is down here, TRX is down here, this one's up here, it doesn't matter. This thing came and it took out its high in a way. It went a little higher before it fell. So can this push up a little bit more before it falls? Absolutely. We got to remember that. That's how it can roll. So that's why, once again, are we starting now or are we delayed? We're about to find out. We're about to find out. If this thing starts rolling over today into tomorrow, then we know what's up. So here we go. Same thing. I'll erase these. And I can probably just put this on a daily first, so we can just look at it on a daily and say, did Bitcoin top out and created a double top, and now it's going to come straight down. Right now, if it was rolling with this one, then yes, that would be the case. So this one topped out first, right? So as it starts drawing, right, Bitcoin finally catches up, and now Bitcoin's drawing a cup, and now this top, remember, this came up higher, or you can say, yeah, you can say closing candle, it came up higher. We're just a little bit higher, you know? So one might be like, oh, we closed a higher high on this. That means we're good. We're going to keep going. But it's just like, I wouldn't jump to that gun, because look at how this did. That did too right here. What happened? Boom. Came straight down, 80-some%. Yes, it pushed up. But if this is about to fall again, this would then fall again, which is how they happen, is they don't, and I got a gap down here on this one, by the way. So yes, it dropped down, but then it could just literally roll with us again. Boom. Right? And now we got a nice little mountaintop. Who knows how this is going to play, but I'll tell you what, that comes back down like that, and these all come down like that. That's another heavy. How big is a drop is that if it goes with us again? Yeah, look. That would be like 90% crash. I have a gap down here, guys. No, it's right here. I have a gap right here on this asset. I am not surprised that it's already starting to make the move. So this is how it would happen, is that the first move can dump. Look, this thing already went 80%, right? It then recovered, but then it can do it again, because it's going to maybe do it in sync with us. So if it does do it in sync with us, or at least halfway or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised that that's how it stays in rhythm with us, is that we're about to go and it's going to go on its second leg, but it's already done its first one. It's already dropped 80% down. Jago, I'll check in a second, guys. Rudy, I think the 23 hours shows a little bit. I mean, you're just shaving an hourly candle off of that daily. I just think the daily is like, everyone looks at the daily. It's like the norm of like where all the masses are going. So if you want to show insight or some sort of like, give the edge, the 23 hour to me gives the edge. Like if I was a market maker, and I would be like, I mean, I'm not going to show that the obvious of the daily, you know what I mean? Anyways, let's keep looking at this. Let's go down to an 8 hour. and look at the way it's drawing on the 8-hour, and then let's take 80K on the 8-hour, and we can see maybe why Bitcoin is remember I gotta go in here. Remember, this thing fell, so look what took place. So is this cup what is happening here? And now this is going to, and this one jogged a little bit right here. It doesn't need to do that, it's already been doing it. You see where the moving averages are? You see how this could easily, if it wants to, slip, boom, on an 8-hour, and then another one, and then here we go, right? And why I'm saying sub 30 can happen, this is how it would happen. It would happen just like this. So this would roll over if it's going to continue to follow, you know? If it's going to continue to follow, this is how it would roll over. So that cup is my X I had there, right? Once again, I'm just going to roll my cursor over. So now the cup is going together. Boom, boom, boom. I'll even draw as I'm doing this. So as you can see, we're drawing the cup. And you see over on the right-hand side, it's already hitting its top. I'm about to go get my top of that. There we go. I got it. Now I'm going to draw my cup, which would be this. Is what it would need to happen. So this would be this. Right? Let me draw a little better so we're not. All right. That would be that move. Boom. And then it's going to do another cup here. Right over the yellow and the blue line. See the yellow and the blue line? We're going to drop that cup in here. Right? So the question is, if it's go time now, and we're about to start this slip, this slide and everything, and it's happening in March, which is very close to what it did last year, last time, then yeah, we're gonna, and I'm gonna pull in Dow Jones, because Dow Jones I find interesting right now, the way it's drawing, because Dow Jones is drawing that cup right there. I think that number one, it's drawing that. I just noticed it as I was looking at my other screen. Let me pull Dow Jones in real quick here. What was that? That's the Y, so we can understand why Dow's doing it. Like, oh well, Dow Jones isn't following it, but you know whatchamacallit was, and now it's kind of like, you know, what the hell's going on here? That was on a 4-hour. Let me see something. It's funny, I already have a W here because I was reading it a certain way. Yeah, so the question is this came through. Is it possible that that is what this is right here, and now it's Dow's hit its top, and Dow's going to come down now too? Let me go to the US 100, NASDAQ. See, NASDAQ's already falling. So if anything, it's creating this on a fall. So it's like kind of whatever at this point, because it's already in route. It's right now it shows that it climbed up a little bit right here, but all it's done as of we know right now is just a lower high. So if this continues to fall and there is a market starts to crash, well, it's going to be happening very soon. It's going to be happening. They're going to be happening together, because this already tells me that it could happen on Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin hasn't fully went yet. Let me check the S&P 500. It's funny. They're all like, I mean, this on a 4-hour. The 8-hour is going to look a little bit tighter. These aren't obviously the same, as you guys know, but I try to make sense out of them as much as possible. The one thing I notice when I look at this is I could say that, and you guys could probably, if we're reading a fractal, I could literally say that this was my 1 and this is my X, because of this attacking at these bottom levels here, which is what it's doing here, right? Like you attack that, so you attacked it. The moving average is what I'm referring to. But don't think that like I'm looking at that like I'm just trying to make sense of how would it happen? Would this all is just ready to go now? So we're watching it and we're on it. We just haven't seen the grand result yet. Same thing here is like this attacking that, then that attacks that. It's kind of the same thing. You can see how this could start to slip over, which is no different, once again, that it did over here. Look at the moving averages and everything. Whoops. That's how it rolls over. This will just roll over. Once that rolls over, this is dropping those bombs in. So are we at a point where that might happen? Yeah, I mean, let's go back to Bitcoin and we just stick to crypto. and go back here, you're gonna say, yeah, I mean it's set up for it because this has been running with 80K, and it once it's done its second cup here, it says it falls. It's supposed to fall off its second cup. One might be like, oh, it needs to push higher, man. It already, you know, dude, it's did the same thing. They both hit the same tops here. If we run Fibonacci's on these, right, and just from this like little 8 hour right here, let me just run a fib on this top here, because they both went to the top here. And if I just went here and I did the same thing, the thing is, now I'm gonna show you in a second. So like, let's say I did it right here, and let's say I took that wick there, right? Let me tighten it up a little bit. If I took that wick right there, well, that wick right there says that we go through the 27, come all the way down through here. So that means that we would fall all the way down through here. However, if that wick wasn't what we used and we did to the body, right? Even though you typically use wicks too. But if we did the body, it shows that we come down to the 618. Well, the 618 would put us down here, right? Which would draw like this. It would ding, 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 right? It would do here. And then we would obviously probably get a bounce up. So that's how I would get my, but see, I don't, if this comes down again, when we do that, then that might mean that we're going to do that again. This is how my March sub 30 happens. So it either happens from this move and it follows this fractal and it follows the fibs and everything. And that's how the sub 30 will happen. It'll shock everybody. Everyone will be in panic. It'll be like deer in headlights, especially the Bitcoin holders. To me, holding Bitcoin makes zero sense to me at this point. It makes, I mean, people are like, oh, I'm holding to 100,000. I'm like, so you want 100% more right now from, if you took out your profits, you can probably save yourself from the fall and you can go find 100%. And you guys know as well as I know, if you're trying to make an extra 100% by taking Bitcoin up to, you know, $100,000 from here, or a little more, or yeah, a little more, dude, it's like, well, if you really do the numbers, and this is new people that I'm talking to, I'm like, you just want 100% return, and they're not thinking that. I'm like, why risk it? You're risking losing massively 50% of your portfolio to go get 100% right now. Why don't you chill out because you just ran on a run, and once you take that profits and sit on the sidelines? But to each their own, man. To each their own. Everyone. I've been in the space for a while, so I look at it differently. And my mindset was way different when I first got in. So I understand. It was everything's good. Moon time. I'm gonna become a millionaire overnight. I think people become wealthy and millionaires by far. I think so. But I think there's gonna be a lot more work than just being able to buy Dogecoin and it happening. You know what I mean? Let me see what some of you guys are saying here. 23 hour more reliable was answered that. 80 stair step. Look at BTC last year, same date. If that happens, Ample closes that wick 90%. Oh yeah, Hydra. And I'm gonna look at those in a second, as today and tomorrow. Look at BTC last year, same time. I'm seeing last year, same date. Let me check that. Let me see what that is. So we're gonna go. That March. Oh fuck! it's a big drop. If that was to happen, it would be like this big dagger. 11th, 12th. The 12th. Like, hey, the 12th it did it, and then. Let me take this off for a second. You know, this thing's ran up a lot. I don't know how aggressive this can be. Something could happen where like that fractal, because we looked at the fractal. I mean, I typically would see this. I would think that we'd come down, we'd push up first, and then drop it. So it would actually, you know, it would eat up 2 months probably. So it'd end up bottoming fully maybe in April to May, but we would already be underway. Gosh, man, I just find this thing so fascinating. I still think that Lend fractal that pushed up aggressively after it did this, it pushed up. It was just a straight line. I still think that's the case. And some people might disagree and be like, nah, man, it was doing a different part. I'm like, we don't know that if that acts the same way, which would be a nasty drop and then a nasty drop. I mean, we don't know if, you know, something happens to Biden or something, and now our president's, I mean, who knows, or if there's a war, somebody bombs us or something. I don't know, but it can be, it's up there, man. Richard, what's up, dude? Yeah, man, 80% pullback, super common. We haven't really had one, so we haven't had anything with this. So if you did an 80%, you know, look where it puts us. It comes and checks down on this line here, right up on this. I don't even know if we ever checked that when we left the station. You know, we come back down here, close some gaps with some wicks. I believe it could happen, man. I tell you from the future, it's already the 12th in Europe. I like that, crypto. Richner. Okay. All right, so let me keep going here. So let's so that's the tomorrow's date. What the? Okay. So we got to keep our eyes on this to see if this is going to follow, and it just goes back to the whole XRP that we're watching too. Let me see how the moving average. Let's look at the other indicators. We haven't looked at that yet. So here goes the other indicators. Yeah, look at we would be like we're tapping the top here at the top of this. Remember, we're not over here. We'd be over here coming off this. Let's go to like a let's go to a 3 hour on that. Let's see how that looked. That like did a little mountaintop and then fell. 3 hour. Yeah, man, we come up, pop, pop, pop. We hit the top up here, and then we shuffle. So we hit the top, and it shuffles, and then it would typically it would fall. I mean, this is doing a bearish divergence on this 3 hour on this stochastic RSI right here. On this stochastic, if this comes, that would come down. So this would, I mean, it's possible that that move right there, where it comes down, is this move right here. It's going to come down. I just think people aren't ready for it yet to think that's going to happen because it's been running so much. I'm going to go back to XRP. XRP is at 45.7 right now. And remember, we got XRP in that similar scenario here for itself, where it's wedged in between this, which would say it comes down. That's what I find, you know, I find that fascinating, that we're pretty much lined up where it says it's supposed to go down. So if it doesn't and it goes up, that's what I'm telling you guys, that I think that if it doesn't and it rejects and we go up and Bitcoin keeps going up, then we can make some plays on, and I'm going to go to that now, on stuff like Ample. The other thing I was going to give you guys as a tip, I don't know if you guys want to do this, but let's say you wanted to go like wick fishing. Well, what you do is you go through my gap charts, right? You go through you get all the charts that have gaps, and let's say you want to play algo. You would then have to go on Kraken and say, okay, well, I need to put it on Kraken because Kraken has a bunch. So I need to, because you can see that they'll drop down and suck it back up. So you can wick fish sometimes, just let your order sit, and it might come down and close those gaps and come back up before it gets the rest. Or let's say a wick did come down real quick and grab those. You would then quickly, you know, have a buy order that you're sitting in, you know, just sitting in stablecoin, USDC, or that's the thing that sucks. It makes you sit in Tether to do these sometimes, or Bitcoin, which you don't want to be in that. So it makes it tough, but yeah, you would be able to grab and then it'd pull you right back up. My mouse is like messed up. Yeah, and pull you right back up. I'm gonna have to get a new mouse. Yeah, pull you right back up 400% real quickly. Boom, boom. You know, so you would then use the exchange to shop on that exchange. Also, look at that actual exchange's graph. Like if you see like a history of wicks coming down on the actual exchange where you're making your purchase, if you see wicks coming down, you can play those games and you can shop those. So anyways, that's just, let me look at Ample. I'm going to show you why I'm looking at Ample and I'm like, it hasn't done much. So I'm like, this FTX site, if you go to the daily, what you're going to notice is Ample has this massive wick going up, right? And it just seems like it's just consolidating down here, and that's all it's been doing. So it has this up. I'm not trying to tell you guys it's going to damn $12,000, but I don't, it's just got a massive wick up there, and this hasn't done anything. So obviously, you know, that's insane, right? But let me go to another Ample. I'm like, well, is there another Ample that has like a wick like that? And I go to Qcoin. And I was drawing a diamond on this thing because look at just the way it's drawing. big in the middle, and then it's just really, once again, this one has it up here too. So I'm like, is this possible that it could shoot up to this way? I mean, that's a 10,000%. So like, if you just had a, like it, like had a, even if you had 1,000 sitting on it, you know, and it shoots up, you know, 1,000. I mean, you can go 10,000. I mean, obviously, you know what 10,000 does. Kill it for 10,000. Yeah, man. I mean, let me see something here. Gosh, man, that is just crazy, man. Huh. Yeah, so it's like, oh, like that would be like an insane shot. You know, you'd probably start to see it beforehand. So 1,000 can make you 100,000, 10,000 can make you $1 million if it happens, and it hasn't went yet. So then what I was doing was I was going over to, and it just hasn't went yet. So it's like, well, what is, are you buying at a bottom? I'm like, for the most part, yeah, you haven't, it hasn't went yet. So I'm like, if it's true in this, let's go open up the pivots here and go to the weekly. I didn't mean to go to the monthly. Let's go to the weekly on this. So you would then, let me take that off there. Oops. You would then say, okay, well, we haven't even went to the R3, and this is up here towards the next level. So it's like, is it wise just to kind of like, we can at least get, you know, a 4x right here if it goes to R3. But if it goes to this next level R3, I mean, you're talking 14,000% on ample. So what's really the risk right now? And this is supposed to go on Coinbase. Some of you guys know that. I think I talked about that last time right here, ample. There's a chance it might go on Coinbase, right? So I don't think it's a shit asset here. If they're checking it out, yeah, just, I mean, on the weekly, you can see it just hasn't pushed up like some of the other ones. Let me slide this over like this. So, and just the way that it just, you know, is that diamond, does that hold weight? Like, it just has a very unique, like almost like a Matic kind of vibe here. Let me go to Matic, right? Let's look at Matic. And I kicked myself for this one. I used to hold it, and then this was a while ago. In and out, you know what I mean? That's why sometimes it sucks looking at these charts. So you see how Matic, very calm in a way, just real sideways movement. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm looking at this. It's like, well, just at least have something on it. I mean, this obviously went through all R3s. That's why I just, you know, I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, it went well through the R3, so it went like, what is it going to go up to the pivot point? You know, does it go to the pivot? Still really good, you know what I mean? It's, yeah, elastic supply. Yeah, who knows what it's like. It's kind of, it's very strange, yeah. Adrian, I haven't looked at Pat Global. Let me go to UTK now, since I was looking at this one too. Let me go to the one on Qcoin. The wicks are what, or maybe it wasn't Qcoin, maybe it was Hitbit. Yeah. You know, if these wicks hold some weight, you know. Let me go to this. Oh shoot, is it going up right now at the moment or not really? Nah, not really. It's on a weekly. Just going to here is almost 10x, right? To close out that wick. So, I mean, part of me is like, dude, do I just throw 20 grand at it? You know, 10x it? I could do that, but what am I going to go back to right now on this? So, like, I could throw 20K or so at it and be like, all right, I'll throw 20K at it real quickly and just see if I can pull off this 10x, right? Which would be what, 200 grand if I pull that off. But it goes back to this theory over here that I'm like, well, I can't do it yet until I know we're good, right? Because if that's what's happening and we're playing this game, which is, let's create a top here, double top, and crash. So what can happen? Well, I can put the 20K in and there's a chance, but when it's time to go over and it pulls this move right here and rolls over, well, then I just lost my money. So it puts me, I lost a good amount of money. I'm losing money now. Now, if I should have just been patient. It's not time yet. You got to trust, the gaps and stuff like that. There's gaps and things that actually probably are going to get filled because there's just so many. So it's like, it's very hard. The more I stare at this, I can see opportunities. I can roll the dice, but then I'm like, why even do it? Where is UTK? Don't I have a gap on this? Maybe I don't. Oh, wait, there I go. Yeah. I mean, so it's like, let me look at these gaps. Power of patience, my friends. It might be the hardest thing to find in humans, but if you can muster up some good patience, you might get really rewarded. And that's like what Warren Buffett and stuff says. Wealth, transfer of wealth is going from the impatient to the patient. So yeah, that's a clear gap that we have there at 6-8 cents. So it's like, do you roll the dice and just wait? That's a fat gap right there. That's a fat gap there. That's a decent gap right there. These are legit gaps. Gap. You can see they create them and they get close sometimes. So it's like, if this is the case, and I have another chart here with some, I mean, I think at some point, man, they're going to get close. Yeah, look, I got more on here too. Oh, Jesus. So you can see why it's hard for me to even be in the market when I know that I'm like, dude, just stay patient, bro. Stay patient. Let this thing come back down and then pick up here and you are golden. You know what I mean? So we'll see, man. Ample is base money. There is no notion of debt or credit in the system. It does not rely on open debt markets or lenders of last resort. Base. Just haven't had this time lately. So yeah, man, I'm just sharing you guys stuff I'm thinking and what I'm watching, and then obviously on the whole XRP thing over here, completely zoned in on that to see, after I wake up tomorrow, where are we at? Are we going to be sliding? Are we still staying sideways? You can see how that 3-hour, that wick is going now, that candle now. It created, wick on the base and bottom. I mean, top and bottom. But yeah, is this going to roll over? If this rolls over, it's done. It's literally the whole market's coming down. It's that close right now. The whole thing will come down. It's all right, guys. Yeah, chat away. So some of you guys are still in here. If you want to... we can I can size up any other assets right now to the whole Bitcoin 80K kind of look to see what they're looking like. As you can see right here, we have the same setup with Utrust, which is why I don't trust Utrust at the moment. So what's up, Milan? Milan's in the house, dude. It's my buddy, man. I forgot to say, shout out to the ladies of the space, Blue Wrench Mob, Arrow Time, and the Lurkers. All right, so Komodo, I'm going to do that one because he asked for that one. And then I'll do Zill, and Band. So if we do KMD, I like these smaller groups, man. I know this thing won't run away from me. Okay, so look at what's happening with look at what's happening right here with Komodo. It's actually running that flat top in a way, guys. I'm glad we went to this one. See how it's running this flat top? There's a chance that it's running this flat top, it'll push up and it could literally look at the intertwining of the fucking moving averages. This is when stuff sketches me out sometimes where I just have to wait and say, are you going to follow? Are you going to follow this? And you're going to curl over? Because you guys both did the cup right here. This one did it after you did this one. And now you're seeing this one print. You see, if we shut off this. So here goes Komodo. So if this is true, where it comes down into this cup here, that would be the cup. This comes up and it shoots down. You can see how drastic that was. So you would then, if you wanted to play it safe by reading this, you would then say, well, let me just play it safe right now for a couple hours, for a couple days, and just make sure I'm out of the clear. I can't guarantee it, man. All I can say is that an asset dropping 80 some percent out of nowhere. Remember, this thing ran up already, and I know it's not some popular asset. It's just like, well, why did you do that? Did you run up like everyone else? Yes. So then why did you do that? Are you showing us something? You know, look, they ran up first. Here's Komodo on the left. You know, are we still in this cup? So is there a chance that we're here and we're going to push up and then it's going to delay and you're going to get that? There's a chance that's it. You know what I mean? There's definitely a chance that's that, or we could just be, you know, it's definitely tough. You know, which one are we? How far behind are we? You know, that's the other option that we could say. Let me do that. I'm gonna go through these. I'm gonna go Zill. Zill is pushing up pretty aggressively, wasn't it? Yeah. See, here goes Zill's first cup back here. So if you look at this, they're both running up. Then now they got to the cup. This one was lagging there. And then this is the top there. So then this would be the way it looks. I was looking for that to go down right there. It didn't happen at that moment. So I'm then still looking for it. So it would be this. Right? And then is it gonna shoot down? I mean, I don't know how this thing might be coming down with us aggressively too. And this, we might just have one aggressive move that's just super aggressive. And if it is, we literally timed, you know, one of the greatest, like, that's coming back down to this way. I don't even want to look at that because I was we were contemplating buying right here, a group of us. We're so stupid. We just don't know at the time, man. We were like, hey, should we buy right here? Man, this is good. Yeah, I think we should just buy this. And then gaps got in my mind, and here I am down this gap alley. No, whatever. I gotta move forward. Can't dwell on stuff like that. The greats don't think about stuff like that. They don't dwell on that. So anyways, we have 2 cups from this, and here we are on a 3-hour off this cup here. Let me turn this off. And it would just be a rollover, you know, it would just roll over if that's the case. It would roll this thing over. That would be the top. Oh, let me do that TKY. TKY looked like it had some more juice in it last time. Oh, TKY is doing a nice, same thing, running that cup. You know, you could get more of a push out of it, or it could top out there and roll over. Let me see. This thing hasn't hit its pivots either. I mean, it looks pretty damn good. But, right? It looked good here probably too, right? And then it comes down. I'm just going to try to read it with Bitcoin, man. I mean, it's what do you want to bet on? Do you want to get to that? You want to bet on going to the R3? An extra 71% right now, the next R3? Or does the house come down right away? I mean, that's the kicker, man. I got to see if this is actually true or not. That's the only thing that's the main thing I got to do. Is that true? Or is it bogus? But do we have that it could be true? Yeah, you have this little ledge here. Look. I mean, this, however it wants to draw it, you know. I'm missing some. Sorry, band, Rudy said. I like band. Band's up there. Band can pull some numbers, man. If that thing comes back. See, then band is like an XRP. It's like, are you going to come up and do that? Because that's typically what you can do. Is you can push up there. Some of them are in different scenarios, man. Look, they were hanging out the same thing right here. Look at this. That's the same cup there. It then comes and creates a big cup and pushes up, right? But it gets to its top first. Then it comes down once, twice, and pushes up and then falls. So it comes down, I mean, however you want to read this, you know, I can see 1, 2, 3 cups right there. So I can see 1, 2, 3 right here. And then it's got this, see that everything just rolls over together. It's funny, they all have this move, right? They're copying here, they're copying here. The question is, are they going to copy this? You know? Or was that it right there? Even though this was an 80% drop though, that's the thing. If that's an 80% drop, that's not the same thing. That's not the same move. Let me go back to Bitcoin. That's the thing that throws me off. That's an 80% drop. That's not some little glitch. That's not some little move. Yeah, so when Bitcoin was doing this little move here, it was tanking that little guy right there. So that's what it did at the same time. But if this is hitting the top like that, now that's what it's doing, and it's one big form, and the moving averages are now supporting it, both on 3 hour moving averages have now caught up. And they get tight like that. Let's see what XRP is doing real quick. 45.5. So we're back in this 45.6, 45.5 game. We're just, let me see what else you guys got. TKY did that. Would you look at TEL, Chris? I would love to know. Let's look at TEL and see what that's looking like. Telcoin's been doing good, especially if you caught it earlier. Yeah, look at that, man. I mean, this is stupid. Gosh. I don't even like looking at this. It's so depressing. But you have to be in that mindset to say, I'm gonna throw 10 grand at it to pull off a $500,000, you know what I mean? You know, but 1,000 does what? 50,000? Yeah, man. Jago, this is a good question on this one, man. It's like, at what point? Look, it filled its... This is why the amples and the UTKs... Look, it came and filled the wick up here. This wick got filled, you know, pretty much when we came down here. It's what, you know, it makes you think on some of these, you know, go back to the key. Well, this doesn't have anything, I mean, unless it goes all the way back up to that 4 cent area. 5,500%. It's, which is the same as that. Definitely, definitely don't like that there's a bunch of those gaps on a lot of those. And I just think that at this is the time right now to just watch to see if we're gonna get a continuation of a run, or it's got time to flip over. Bitcoin AVE. Yeah, see, this is kind of playing the whole same card. I mean, they're all going to be very similar. That is that, whether it wants to push up here and come over, or if it's time now. Definitely tough read on those to see, but time's about to tell here. Next several hours to days. So there goes VeChain. So VeChain pretty much is pushed up, and it's at a point where, did it do the cup too? Yeah. 1, 2, pushed up here, did its move, and it's up here. So literally V chain would probably be at this edge here. If we were to read that, came down into the moving averages right there. See this cup here? This one just pushed up and ran sideways. V chain is climbing up to its, pretty much what you got to think about it is they're climbing up to they're trying to get to an edge. So it climbed up to get to an edge. So if this is true, this is legit, you know, what you can do is if you start to see this like break through, I mean, then you know, like, hey, it's following. Like, you don't wonder what's going on. You're like, hey, man, there's a high probability this is following. Obviously, you'd like to sell at a point if you were to sell. Or you don't have to sell at all. I'm not telling anybody to sell. But you can see how quickly just a baby move right here going back down to the cup is 43%. This is why you don't buy tops, man. This is exactly why you don't buy tops. Because 43% to 50% is a baby move like this, just coming down to this bottom, to the bottom of this cup. Right? You can. That's how quickly 50% can eat you alive. And then it's the power of percentages. Then it can, which isn't, damn it. I forgot to use the shift button. Yeah, so like 50% retrace is right down here at this wick. But another 50%, obviously if somebody bought, they're like, oh, I'm going to buy that. And then it goes down even more. So now we're at 80s. But I have gaps down here. I mean, I could see a 90 on this thing and close back down to March levels. I can see it come all the way back down to these levels here. Sounds bizarre, man. I agree. Let me look at my gap charts on that. It's like I think something bad happens. It seems like. I mean, in order for those gaps to get filled, or we're just going to chalk it up that those gaps don't get filled. I mean, it's one of the two. Those gaps don't get filled or they do get filled. Look, it's maybe, I mean, there goes that wick. We got these wicks down here. Which wicks are going to get filled first, right? This wick got pretty decent amount, but then we got still more on this one. Like I would expect some of those to get filled like that got filled. This needs to get filled. You know, I mean, it's up right now. It's pretty much at a little bit more than a halfway point. But if I turn on gaps, there you go. I mean, at the very least, I'm not even saying that, like, let's say this doesn't even happen. At the very least, are you going to come down to these gaps? I would think so. Boom, boom. I would think so, but time will tell, you know, I guess. It's about all we can. Komodo red curling over 2. V-chain. Hi, Chris. I have been following you for a while and really appreciate your perspective. If you have time, would you please show gaps on H-bar, Kava, Atom, Iota, Theta? Thanks a lot. Yes, I'll show you those now. It's super easy for me to do. All right, so the first one we'll do is H-bar. So I got 2 for H-bar here. 2 charts. I got a Bittrex chart that's got me down here at 1714. I'm sorry, 1.7, 1.4, and 1.1 cents. I also got a stack of them down here as well at the 1.5, 1.4, 1. So down here at this March level, look at that wick. I mean, I'm not saying that wick gets filled, but look at that. So this wick is getting ate up, right? Maybe it leaves a little bit because it's going to go back up there and close that. So what if this comes down, clears this, and then goes up there and grabs the rest of it now and goes higher? We'll find out. But there goes H-bar. Some of you guys might like these, that I'm doing these. So Kava, do I have Kava? Yeah, I have 1 chart on Kava. So here goes Kava right now. Once again, putting a little higher high, just like 80K. So let me slide this over. So what does it look like with 80K? It's the same kind of thing. Kava's doing the same thing. Falling into that cup. Let me pull that up. But you can see I have under $2 there. Boom, boom. So now it pushed up, which would mean that it could shuffle sideways, right? Shuffle sideways and then drop. Excuse me. And this is cutting through, cutting up. Still, I understand what it could do. That's the thing. Kind of like an inverse head and shoulders and fall. So like a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and then fall. It could, like, it's possible it can do that. But yeah, $2, 188, 164, 151, 150. Yeah, 151. That's the only chart I got right now supporting how far, and that's not even that far of a fall. You know, that's super easy for it to do that. Yeah, but that's what an 80% does, you know, or 90% does, or whatever. It comes all the way back down to these levels. What else did you have? You had theta and stuff. Atom, iota, and theta. So atom, do I have atom on here? I don't have anything on atom. Iota, I have iota. This is what I got on iota right now. Just this Bitfinex, 35 cents, 21 cents, and 13 cents on iota. Let me see what else I got here. And you said theta. I think, do I have theta? Maybe I don't. I don't see anything on theta. I don't have a theta chart. Yeah, no theta. I just got the total alts 2, which, lo and behold, the total alts 2 is drawing that same fractal that we've seen with ADK. So this is everybody together, what they're all drawing, probably, in a way. So if this rolls over, let me turn off that mess, and this happens right here, that would be that the alts crash. If it follows, the alts come down. The only thing that I find very interesting about this total alts is there's 2 major gaps on it, but it just doesn't make sense that, you know, look at, I mean, it makes you think, well, gaps don't close because that's a massive gap there. These are 2 massive gaps, so it's like, I mean, we definitely can call it like a double top, you know, and then, but this would tell me that something very bad, I mean, a wick can close this out, you know, whack, just a crazy wick, you know, but it's like, why, and I'm just going to speak about this real quick. I mean, this is me just thinking, like, way off, like, these are major gaps. Either they're worthless or they're actually insight, and what I don't think would happen actually happens, because, like, dude, that means the alts, there's only $21 billion. I mean, that's not a lot. That's like, that means a lot of alts get wiped away. Like, there's a lot of stuff that gets wiped away out of the market. And if this thing is controlled by an algorithm, and that market anyways is people's money, I mean, does Bitcoin, something bad happen to Bitcoin? Does something bad happen to Bitcoin? Like what's his name says? What's that guy's name? Dan Pena or whatever. Yeah, Pena, right? He kept saying it's going to zero, man. He said that shit with oil, and he was pretty damn accurate with that. So I'm not saying that he's actually going to be 100%, but he was like hinting like Putin is involved in this, and I'm like, if something did happen bad with Bitcoin or something, and they like pretty much erased the whole market, I mean, I'm not trying to put super fear. I just think about this. We're putting our money in stuff that's not even being used yet, right? I mean, they're testing it. Nothing's implemented in the world yet. Nothing's like, hey, this is a certain thing. XRP's probably the best. Like Ripple the company, you know, it's probably the best. That's like actually real live use cases that are actually close to, like, you know, like for example, Dragon. I mean, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just really playing devil's advocate here. Is there something really bad supposed to happen? I mean, they would literally wipe out the whole market, and then they would restart it. So this all becomes just because it's not regulated in a lot of areas. And this is how they get wiped out. Do regulations come in and they say, if you're not, we're not going to be approving anybody, and, you know, this is just for USA, obviously, but we're not going to be doing anything. Everyone's going to have to go through a process and meet this criteria to be passed. And next thing you know, people are, because I think a lot of this stuff's held up by the market makers' money, whether it's real or not, and it's held up. So if something was legit, if this was, it could crash itself if it wanted to. It's not going to harm the market makers, but anybody inside this, the retailers and stuff, they're going to get smoked out. So this is obviously the most bizarre scenario. So please don't take it like I'm like I fully believe it. I just find these gaps to be interesting to me, that they're just so ginormous for the alts, for the total alts. Like I just find that gap to be interesting. You know, like that's a big gap. You know, that's a big gap, and I've seen them all get closed this size. You know, and then I go to Coco's. You see Coco's? Look at Coco's. I mean, Coco's still running, but look at Coco's gap. It's once again the same kind of stuff I'm looking at. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Look at the gap here. It's this whole thing. But this was what, when they did the price thing or something? No? I don't know what the hell happened here. Maybe it was that price when they added another asset or whatever. It just, but it's still running, so it's like I don't know. I can't remember that one. Anyways, not all these gaps are probably legit. I think there's a recovery. I think it doesn't last long. You know what I mean? I didn't say it twice. Dude, how are you even in here, dude? You are letting me rent space in your mind, bro. I've never seen somebody so bothered and so obsessive, bro. You gotta go, man. You're just too much, man. Like, super toxic, bro. You're super toxic. I'm not calling for a $20 billion market cap, man. Come on, dude. I just told everybody that. I'm like, come on, man. This guy, dude. The kid is like super troubled mind, man. I feel bad for him, man. I don't know what's going on in his personal life, but I've never seen somebody like literally follow somebody that they dislike so much. It's like, dude, like, just why are you showing up, bro? Like, why are you like like obsessive, like stalkerish? Really, man, it's really creepy in a way. It's like, let it go. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. That's why I took him off here. I'm surprised. I don't even know. Dude, he was a cool guy, man, at one point, man. The man crushes, bro. No, he was like, dude, like, the guy was, like, cool. And then, like, all of a sudden, if I'm bearish, it's like, dude, he's just, like, he's a young kid. You know, I just don't know what's going on in his mind, man. It's, like, crazy, dude. Anyways, I'm just surprised. Anyways, as I stated, I'm like, obviously, you guys know I think it's super crazy, right? It's stupid. But it's just crazy that those, he just wasn't obviously comprehending, I don't think. What I'm saying is that it's just weird that those gaps were there. That's all. I find it very weird. It's not something I'm betting on, because look, 20 billion bucks, that seems, once again, you would have to wipe out the market, like the whole thing. But when I look at, and then when I look at the XRP dominance, do you guys remember when, like, this seemed bizarre to me too, and everyone was like, dude, it's not happening, bro. XRP's dominance, you're not going to fill that gap down there. So people, once again, this little gap down here, see it? I was having people tell me that, and this is a 1.1, I guess. Well, that's the percent. It's a percent. So 1.1, 1.9 or whatever, the way it ranks itself, that was impossible for XRP to happen, right? Look, we even got a wick down here. I wouldn't doubt these things, man. So what ended up happening? We were up here, and everyone didn't believe that that was going to happen, and look what happened. It came down there and closed that gap. Insane, man. Came all the way back down there, and it's already back down there again. So does this wick get filled? Do you guys think this wick gets filled? Possible, right? Yeah, crypto villain. I don't even want to give the guy my attention. I'm actually shocked. Like, he's like he obviously, if he's kind of pretty much stalking, he's gonna find any way to like show up and like just troll. The guy's clearly showing up to troll. He's clearly, no, man, I'm not trying to be negative, man. Oh, much love, bro. Like, he would say stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, your behavior does not match what you're saying. And that's where I laugh at people, is like, they think they want you to keep them around in life. Like, keep me around. Like, I'm trying. No, everything's cool, man. Super respect, man. But then your behavior is disrespectful. And I'm like, You're not fooling me in this game. Your actions are going to make the decisions for me, so he'll just go get another, he'll just jump in on another, he'll go make another account. That's what they do. The AI, no one's going to know. How are they going to know? Yeah. So like 500. Yeah, that would be the way that it would work. So think about it this way. You know how like Brad Garlinghouse has said, so don't let, like, if we talk about that total alts gap, think about that. If Brad Garlinghouse says like a lot of these are going to get wiped away, see, I miss your oh, no problem, brother. That's how it would happen. That's how it would happen. Something would happen, and a lot of them would get wiped away, right? And that's how a flash, nasty crypto complete crash.com kind of thing would happen. What do you guys? Were some of you guys around with the .com era? You know, think about how that was going on. Like, I think just a lot of like people were betting on a lot of stuff and it didn't work. And like only so many. There's only a handful that survived. I think it's the same kind of concept. So I could be, you know, 1 minute I'm sitting on the sidelines to buy XRP and to buy some of these dirt cheap, right? To trust the gaps to be filled. And little do I know that those gaps are leading me to something bigger that I don't even see happening. And I actually dodge one of the biggest bullets ever, you know? It's possible, man. Once again, not trying to put fear in you guys. I'm just a thinker. I'm a thinker, man. I think, and I keep thinking and try to add stuff up. So anyways, XRP's dominance, it got filled. And then, let me see, EOS. Yeah, right here. EOS is, look, this EOS has the same gap that XRP has. I'm telling you, it's coming back, dude. Look, it's gonna come back and fill that. That's the same gap that XRP I just showed you has, right? What did it do with XRP? It came and filled it. So do you think that, look what this is doing right now. Do you think that this EOS is gonna come and slip and grab that? Let's run those side by side. I love this stuff, man. So this is on a daily, this is on a daily. Let me put them both on. So there you go. I mean, this one obviously dropped. It did a, there's no fractal that's actually the same. So obviously no. Let me see where the tops are on these. Spiked and dropped. I think it's going to clear it, guys. I think it'll grab it. Hey, what's up, Pete? I'm doing good, man. Yeah, I've only started stacking in November. Cool, so you guys are still pretty fresh on the scene. Dude, this thing is just... I think it gets it, man. So XRP, as you see, slipped underneath on its dominance. It's underneath this. So if this falls underneath, it comes down a little bit more, it would grab it too. This is on the weekly right now. Saw the patterns, but what is the logic behind those gaps getting filled? So here, let me give you guys a little rundown real quick on the gap. So I'll just take, let me just take a gap. Let me take a chart. Maybe I'll do one that goes back a little bit more. There's just a history of them getting filled. Oh, we'll just do the BTC gap, right? Right here. So here's Bitcoin futures gaps. And what we can do is we can go and look at the gaps in their history and say, well, were they getting filled? You know, are they going to get filled? And you'll notice that they do get filled. So this is why we believe they get filled. So I'm just going to come all the way back here. and you're going to see a bunch of them, right? See this gap here? Got filled over here, right? Find it. There's a little gap there, got filled. Gap here, got filled. Gap here, see this big one right here? I would then say, hey, it gets filled. Yep, came down and got filled. Up, they created a gap here. At some point, it's going to come up there. So even though we fell in August 2019, I would say, hey, it's going to come up and grab that 11,750, right? So let's see how long it took to get that one. Damn, it took a while on that one. Finally got it. A year later. So it took a year. Are some of our gaps a year old? Yes, our gaps are a year old. That took exactly a year to get that one. All right. But there's a ton of them. So it's not just that gap. So this gap gets closed out right here. That gap right there got closed out. Boom. Gap right here comes and closes on this side. Look at this gap right here. Comes down. This wick pretty much takes down all that. So it created a gap and then dropped a wick in to wipe out that full gap right there. This one right here comes over. Dude, straight nag, dude. Like, I don't know what's going on with him, man. There's like something wrong with him, I think. I don't know. Maybe he's battling some problems or something. I generally think it's, I mean, it's not me. I don't know the guy personally. You know, all I'm doing is just giving my opinion on some charts. So it's like, what is eating at you, bro? Something's like bothering him inside. Who knows? That's why you just don't let somebody run space in your brain. That's typically it. Like, he's literally spending time. It's operating him, his emotions. It's like overriding him, man. Like, you're going to lose that life. You're too busy worried about what other people are doing. You have like a sickness or something. This gets closed out right here. Little gap there, closed out. Right here, look at that gap. Wick comes up, closes it out. You see that? Gap closed out. Gap closed out. Gap closed out. Gap closed out. Gap right here, closed. Nope, didn't fully get closed out. So let's look at how precise they need to be. So look, you see how this didn't get closed out right there fully? There's still a space. So let's drop a horizontal line on that right there and say, okay, well, let's see if what took it out eventually. So that was a 76. Came over here, closed out. You see it? That's how it happens. Look, hey, there's a gap right here still that's open, and we're pushing up on Bitcoin. If I would have known this, I'd have been like, hey, man, we got to come back down and close these gaps. Let me go over here, see what's the other. We would have caught this. This is why we do this. This is exactly why we'd be doing this. I'd be like, let me see how this. I'd be like, hey, there's a gap here. Watch this. Pretend that first crash, that COVID happened, like we weren't fully aware. I would have been shopping like this. Look, I would have put a gap right there. And what else? I could nope. Right here too, there's a little gap right here. They're very sneaky, some of them. Like, that's a gap. So I would have locked that into and said, okay, we got a gap there. Didn't get closed out. Nope, didn't get closed. 48. Okay, so then what I would do is then say, okay, well, we have these gaps over here, guys. So we would have been running up, right? And it would have been creating these gaps. You know, like this one right here got closed out, but it got closed out here. But I would have been like, all right, that got closed out, that got closed out. And then I would have saw that when it came down here and it wiped out some of these guys, like that one, it wiped out that one. I'm like, all right, we got that wiped out. So now but I was like, I would have told you guys this. Hey, we still got a 6100, a 4800, a 39, and a 35, which these two are still open, by the way. But we got these two. Right, so next thing you know, and then we had this one right here at this 76 because it was climbing. This is a year ago. So here we are, February. COVID comes in. What happens? Slips. And I'm like, hey, there's gaps below, guys. It needs to go at some point, go back there and get them. Well, sure enough does. It creates a gap as it's falling. Boom, closes out the 76. So this becomes gone. Boop, drops again, closes out this 6,000. Boop, comes all the way down here, closes out the 4,800. That's gone. Doesn't tackle those. Now it's climbing up, right? And now it's creating new gaps as it climbs up. And there's one right here. You just can't see it because it's not on a daily. Creates one right there. Boom, we still got this 9,600 gap. Boom, we still got an 11,000 gap. There's probably a gap there. There's definitely a gap there at 18. There's definitely a monster gap there at 25. I think there's one down there. This one got closed. So here we are today, and I'm telling you, just like I would have told you back on that March crash, I would tell you that, hey, we got a bunch of gaps below, a stack of them. So at some point this needs to come down, so be careful, watch. That's how it works. So if you're wondering, that's exactly how it works. And that's going back and looking at history. So then you take that and you say, well, is there other assets that have gaps like this that we can spot? And the answer is yeah, right here. You know, here goes Ethereum. You know, and that's one of the main ones. As you know, Link is pretty aggressive right there, right below. This is why I'm just staying patient. You know, stay patient, stay patient, stay patient. Something good could happen. We don't know what's happening fully, but be careful. Like this wick, like you guys in Tori's group or whatever, he would tell you that that wick is left. He thinks that comes back, closes that wick at least. So putting your money in up here is dangerous because you could come and you can wipe it out. It can wipe it out. Number one. Number two, yes, you can make some money. We can. There's always going to be some push-ups. You know, we can try to get the rest off of UTK. We can try to, you know, make some money on, you know, like Cork just went up another 17. Milan's probably watching this because he's watching this asset. Cork just, well, maybe it's running on a different schedule. Maybe it did push. I don't know. That doesn't look like it just pushed up. Who knows? But anyways, that, let me go back over here. Yeah, image Cocos. I'm trying to see if anybody else is. So Quant's falling right now, 8%. Did it already start yesterday? So this is interesting. We need to look at this. Quant. We got to run it up against 80K. Let me go to this other one. Quant. So sometimes I'll do that. Damn, where's all my charts at? Let me go to 80K right here for, let's go take that away. Let's go 4 hour. Okay. So here goes 80K in the 4 hour. I'll just leave it like that. Let's go to that Quant because Quant is dropping for some reason right now. And we need to see what its fractal looks like. You know, so that's what I'll do. So if this is the delay, look, Quant is slipping right now at the moment. We'll see if it just is going to create a wick there. What's the XRP doing? 46.1. So it's pushed back up a little bit right there. Yeah, right at the, so we gotta watch that if everything is good on that. Interesting. That's pulling down. Bars pulling down. Dragon a little bit. Nothing. Zill. Pundy. Okay. MHC is already. I'm glad I sold this. Remember, this was I made some money on that little pump there. TP Quant. So red Lambda. Some of these are just kind of shit coins. 4 hour there. Yeah, so this is so IOTAs. Huh. You see, the Cocos is like some old one, so I don't even know what's going on with that. Yeah, this is pretty, dude, that's a nasty close. That's a 3 hour close like that. That just closed that. So that just is ripping through the 3 hour at the moment right now. It's not even fully done, it looks like, yet. So Quant is very interesting the way it's closing. Let me look at that on the 23 hour or something. So that's what the 23 hour candle looks like right now. Let's pull up this at a 23 hour. Look at it, man. This is what I'm talking about, guys. We gotta watch these to see if they follow through. So if this slides through here, it's now following suit very well. So from its high point, just right here, it's already down 17% within the last 2 days. So Quant's down 17 cents and 17% in the last 2 days. Dude, that Chili's, Rudy, is just bananas, man. Why are these gaps formed? Are they created by trading bots? It's a good question. Only God guides the truth. I'm not sure on that, man. Filling gaps something to do with market makers and algo. I think so. Something to do with, like, I don't know if it's a way for the people to read it, but as you know, there's gaps above sometimes and below, so it's like which ones get filled. Hot was doing good last time I saw it in Pundy. Let me check them. Nothing yet, just running. It's running that gap. It's running this like fractal right here. It looks like where that's running. So super interesting the way it's looking right now. Pundy and Chili's. Chili's is just if I pull that up, it's just probably straight up. Adrian, you think he's got some insight? Okay, so Pundy looks like it's copying the same kind of fractal. If this once again, if this rolls over, it could be like literally I can wake up tomorrow and this thing is dropped down. It's seeming that way, Max. It's like what was the Mona coin? What was that doing? Yeah, see some of these just the way the fractal is looking. Let me go to that Chili's. 14%, just freaking stupid. This one doesn't. Some of these don't even seem it. What's look at there goes Dogecoin. Crazy. He said if we knew who was behind Bitcoin, it would go to zero. That's what, Adrian. That's what I'm thinking, man. Like if there's some truth behind that, and Bitcoin is something, because let's be real, Bitcoin is the worst technology in all of crypto, we might as well say, right? And like if they come out and say, oh well, this is created by this person or that person, like that alone would kill the market. So if you really start thinking and you say, well, what would happen to do all that? If you killed Bitcoin, you kill the whole market, you kill all the alts, you kill the whole thing. If Bitcoin goes to zero, what is everybody else doing? That's the question. If Bitcoin went to zero, what happened to everybody else? And we can look at that total alts too, and we can look at it and be like, yeah, it's unlikely, and it sounds bizarre. 20 billion? No, it's insane. But we don't know, man. You want to keep everyone away from crypto and wipe them away? They ain't gonna ever step foot in crypto if you did that. However, us in this group, I would say that we would be okay. Why? Because we knew what was going to happen, or we were aware that there's to me a less than a 1. I don't even want to say less than 1%. I would say a 1% chance that those gaps on that total alt get filled. And that's me kind of going against my gap game, what was it? You want me to check when? That's right. It'd be me going against my gap game. When I just switched, Don, I switched from Doge to Wink. It was just a little bit like that. The strong fundamentals like XRP might survive after the deep crash. I think so, man, Joker. It's XDC doing the same. Let me, does XDC even have a clean chart yet on here? Oh yeah, it's nothing really fancy on XDC. I mean, this thing has done very well. But yeah, it's similar, but not really. It's not really shown too much. Let's go to like a 3-hour to see if it looks a little more clear. But I don't know, man. This has got my mind thinking. Just yeah. I'll tell you what. If this goes, if something, I mean, once again, if something happens with Bitcoin. you're taking the whole house down. The whole house is coming. Since you have access to all the knowledge, do you have a group where you call out your personal buy and sell positions so others can benefit as well? I honestly, I was doing well in my last, I would say, come January this year, I literally missed some good run-ups, and but I usually do say what I do. But right now, my approach is just to preserve what I've gained, and just trust that these gaps come through. But I mean, maybe in the future, if I'll tell you what, yes, after if this crash happens, oh yeah, I will probably be, especially if I'm on the sideline like I am and I'm able to capitalize, I'll probably be one of the very few, content creators in the crypto space, very happy and really trying to, play the Coinhop game on the way up, which is something I love to do. I'd be one of the very few because my portfolio wouldn't have got touched at all. But right now I'm looking not like a full, like I'm losing big time, but I'm missing out on, I missed out on some stuff that I probably should have held a little bit longer. So but I'm okay with it because that's life, I maybe I have insight for something bigger. We don't know what the future is going to hold. So maybe I pull a rabbit out of the hat, man. You just really don't know until time comes. The Tristans of the world, can come in here and, complain and just be negative and throw toxic vibes when it's just like, dude, if you would maybe just open your mind and just like chill and be like, you know what, man, I disagree with you, Chris. That's all you have to say. And I think everything's good. I think you're crazy. But, you know what? I'll take what you said. But there's certain people that aren't able to do that. They're just they got to work on themselves, man. Emotions are driving them. Completely controlled by emotions. Got to break out the Coinhop chart, level up chart when that happens. Yeah, I'll bring that right back. We could have, if we never got the gaps, Jago. If no one ever told me about the gaps, you know what would have happened, right? We would have literally been we would have coin hopped very well and killed it, like what was designed to do, right? It was designed. We're designed to do that, and then, some people in the group like pointed out the gaps to me, really made me look at the charts different. So obviously I went to more bearish and I stopped doing what I was doing. I don't blame anybody. It's just what it is. I think that insight helps me later is what I think, which is about to, I think, happen. That's what I think happens. That insight ends up bringing me some value here. So that's how that one closed there. Pushing up. I'm looking at XRP right now. I just want to see what we're looking at here. Let me go to see if I can see anything more. Well, let me go to that quant. Let me pull up quant, because if quant, let's say quant started. Let me see what quant looks like against XRP. Pushed up and now it's slipping down. It just had a higher push. That's why. But it's interesting that quant is down 20% from that point, where somebody like Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitcoin. Do you notice that? And I'll tell you guys this too. Do you guys notice that some of these are on a different time schedule, where they close at they're on just a whole different ball game? So if this is true, look, that means Bitcoin comes down probably. If quant's coming down right here, like that, off this cup, then it's probably likely that Bitcoin's going to come down off this cup. I mean, it's probably not going to leave it too far away. Hold on one second. Let me I got my other compute monitor above me, so I'm looking at the chart. So why is that blurry? Is it blurry for some of you guys? Oh, because it's on 144. No wonder why. So yeah, if this is true, then this is going to come down. 3 hour right here. Yeah, so like you see these three mountaintops up here. You see 1, 2, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. So right here is where Bitcoin's still at. So Bitcoin would need to slip, but it can hurry up and catch up. I'm telling you, man, it's probably gonna happen, man. It's just gonna start slipping down. I'm starting to see signs of other ones like Quant do that. And once again, some of these are on different time schedules. So I think RSR is a perfect example. Watch this. I'm like, who coded you, or where are you coming from? Like, you're from a foreign area because you're running a different schedule than everybody else. Let me go to RSR. You'll see the time is different. Yeah, you see how this says 48? These are both 3 hours. You see how this says 2? Let me go to a daily. Watch. You'll see that it's like off. It's from another. It's been programmed somewhere else. So this says 20 hours and 48 minutes left for the daily candle. But if we go to RSR, RSR says 12 hours and 48 minutes. So there's an 8-hour difference. Yeah, they close at different times. Do you guys know why that this would be this way? There's other ones that are doing it too. I'm like, you guys are on different schedules. So let me see who else is on it. It was AOA. That's normal. ADK, normal. DAG, normal. Forced, nope. I think Libra Credits is different. Yeah, see, Libra Credits is on the same schedule as RSR. So I'm like, why are you guys rolling on that different time schedule? I think it's Odyssey. Odyssey too, different schedule. It's on an 8-hour different shift. It's running the night shift, man. Telcoin, nope. Telcoin's fine. That's fine. TNT ain't on nothing anymore. Yeah, I just look, top network. This 8 hours. So this is like on. Is this stuff overseas? These are the coins that are overseas, like China or something. That's why they're on a different time. Same with this U network. That's a different time. I just find it very fascinating. So it was Neo. Well, Neo's on a straight up time, I'm sure. Just trying to think of like coins that ample. Like, why are you on a different schedule? Yeah, something's, yeah, Duncan, it's like, it doesn't make sense to me why they would be on the different time zones. So let me see if did Dot some of these dominants. Let's look at the dominants, see if we can make sense of some of this stuff. I'm not really tired, guys, so if you guys want to stick around, there's still 45 of you guys on here. I want to look at keep looking at things. This is how we like discover stuff that maybe we can find some insight. So here goes the Bitcoin dominance chart, and the Bitcoin dominance chart does have gaps, as you see right here, that have gotten filled. Let me open this up to see there. I think there's gaps above that never got filled. So I find it interesting to say, well, why? What would happen? Like, so see how there's a gap up here. There's a massive gap up here at 96, right, for the dominance. This gap got filled. This was a massive gap here. See it? That got filled fully. Actually, I don't know if it fully got filled. Yeah, it got filled. Yeah, I mean, close enough. But I don't think there's anything below. So we have, okay, so yeah, so that's, I just find that interesting that has that gap up there. Has, I think, at least one gap. It's just one gap up there. Nothing below. But that EOS has that one that's down low. You know what I mean? The EOS. Question. Last year in March, you noticed the crash happening? No. You know what, man? I went against my own drawing. I had a drawing that showed that it was supposed to crash, and I bet it against it like a dumbass. But if I knew the gaps, I would have been able to. I would have been able to like. I would have known that we'd had to go down at some point. But I had the fractal lined up perfectly, and I bet against it. I'm like, no, we're just gonna go up, and it sure enough fell just like it. I had it exactly. I just, I bet against my stuff sometimes. I'm like, nah, we'll just override that. We love this shit, man, just as much as you do. That's why we're here, man. We appreciate it. Have foresight. Thanks, Duncan. Awesome, man. Yeah, I love trying to figure out things, man. I like trying to like crack the code and stuff. So let's look at some dominance charts. Let me look at this .D because this is kind of a weird dominance. There's not a lot of these. Look, this has that gap below, man. We need to shrink this gap. This is what I'm saying. This is gonna get filled. So let's shrink this because it's not that. Unless what I do have it on like maybe a smaller time frame or something. Oh, that's why, because the yeah, let me make this like pink or something. Crank it up. Yeah. All right, so this is a massive gap on dot. So I'm telling you that dot needs to come down. Polka dot. So I think once again, I think something happens, man. So I'm having gaps on their actual chart, but then I'm having them on the dominance too. And if that folds over like it's doing, it'll drive this down to this point and it'll clear this out. So the question is, dude, this is that same look that whatchamacallit had. What's that one that I had that I was showing Cage? The origin. Look at this. Let me go to like an 8 hour. Like this drawing here where it's like a big M. But I guess let me go to origin protocol. OGN. It was back on yeah, it was like back here. I'm on a daily. It was this fractal right here. This M. I remember all these damn things when I see them. Like, damn. And I felt like that's, gosh, it's almost like this right here. This whole thing. Where this is this. And it's gonna come over. I just see this behavior a lot, the same stuff where it's like, all right, well, is this what you're doing? You're running up. That looks like this doesn't look healthy. This one doesn't. Let me look at the moving averages and stuff on it. I mean the indicators. XRP, let me see XLM.D if there's anything on this one. Oh my gosh. Oh, I do have a gap down here. Dude, I am forgetting about all this stuff, man. All this the work I've done. Look at this thing. It is slipping down, dude. That does not look bullish by any means. That thing is like caught in a trap. And I got a gap down here. It's a little guy, but he's of value. Yeah. So hold on, man. This is XLM. So XLM, EOS. Wait, what's down here? The hell is this? No way. What is this? I got a gap down here? Hell yeah, I do. Tighten it up a little bit. What is going on here? Dude. This is percent, by the way. This doesn't talk about like how much money. But you can see it's created gaps before and they get filled. You see the gap right there? There was a gap here, got filled. Gap here, got filled. This has been creating gaps at times. And this is on the daily it's doing this. It's Wix. Oh, that got ate up. That's right. This one got ate up. I don't know what that is. That's if this is real or not. But this one's definitely still out there. And this looks like it's shifting down. So as of February 14th, which is where was this was the other crash. February 14th top. Yeah, I'll go pull it up, Pete. Yeah, this is this dominance looks very strange. Let me pull that dot real quick and then I'll go pull that raven for you. Dot D. So if this, it's at 2 right there. Let me go to a daily. It goes down at the base. Well, their dominance is going to be different because one has got more than the other. So the percentage is going to be different. The move, so this is going to be a little different on who does what at what level. Let me just see. Is this So algo is still slipping a little bit here. Algo is slipping. What's Bitcoin doing real quick? Bitcoin's still slipping a little bit. That might have been it, man. If one candle comes through, it's over. It's over. Let's go to Raven. I'll do that right now, Patrick. Hold on one second, Pete. I'm sorry. I just want to pull that real quick. Both on the 3 hour. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The I see what you're saying. The actual M that I was doing, right? That I was doing on the daily or whatever. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It was kind of like this up in here when I was doing this. The edge of this guy is funny where it's at. Look, once this one's getting pinned at that top like this. Same thing, same concept. This is actually this whole thing here. Oh yeah, then that means it would be at that, so it would slide down. What kind of pull down would that have done? It's crazy, some of these levels when they go up, man. 273. Got a good one on that. Let's go Raven. It's looking doji, man. Like if I ran Doge next to this, bro, it's gonna be like the same thing. So if this goes, then Doge will probably go too. It almost seems because they're very similar. Just the way that their fractal art is. See how this came and does that little notch? Very similar to me in a way, at least this moment here. But let's I mean, let's play devil's advocate and say, okay, yeah, the way it's wanting to push right there, you want to hope that it does another move like this, get a big burst out of there. You could, dude, you never know, man, with some of these. Like, let me go to the weekly on this. Let's pull up the Fibonacci pivots. So it's clear to R3 easy. Let me see if there's another Raven chart that has a little bit more balanced R3 pivots. I mean, it's definitely cleared those damn things. Cleared that wick out over here too, man. It's up to you, brother. I mean, it definitely could go, but it can also, obviously, we know everything can turn over. That's how I'd quickly read it. So it could definitely, you know, scoop up and push like that, and scoop up and push like that. Or it could come down. You just, it's definitely a tough call on that right there. Let me go back to this. Gaps on Doge. Let me check. I think I got gaps on Doge. Let me go to the 23 hour on this. 23 hour. See, this would be what could happen to you, Pete, if you made a play. I mean, I can't guarantee it, obviously. Make my mistakes, but if this move right here, if that's your guy right there at the edge, and it comes through here, that's why I'm sketchy on, like, right now. You almost want to see if somebody else does it first, because one move will take you down quickly. Oh shit. Let me what else? Patrick Portable GN, yeah. GN is ahead. No problem. Gotcha. Gaps on Doge. Yep, I got one. They're probably gonna sound insane, but then again, Doge is just some basic coin, man. It's not even a legit project. Why? Here's a question for you guys. Why would this stay up? Why wouldn't this get wiped away? So yeah, I have 0.007, 0.003, 0.001. So I got those gaps down below. So, something ain't adding up to me, guys, on this whole thing, because, you know, but these gaps, it's almost like you got this asset that is up this high, and it's just a joke. So it's like there's people in, but then if this is controlled by AI and controlled by market makers, it's like, what are they doing? They're like, well, yeah, they're literally about to get people out. In my opinion, to not ever touch crypto again. This is one way to do it. So what's the market cap on this one? Where's the market? They keep updating this. 7 bill. So there's over $7 billion in this. $7.5 billion in this right now. Yeah, right there. 7.3. So $7.3 billion is in a coin that is a joke. That doesn't even solve a problem. That doesn't make sense to me. So let's go. These shimmy checks will go straight to Elon tweets. Yeah. I know this is off topic, but anybody who wants to see a funny video, search "wear the mask" on YouTube. I have SNX gap at 4.2, but I'm buying. Yeah. Oh, at 4.2 you're buying. Let me check that. Dude, I really like these this XLM gap down here, and like the dot gap down here. something just it didn't clear the all out. So I'll go back to BTK right there, huh? Quant on the daily. What's quant looking like on the hourly? If it pierces down on that, it might be interesting to find what happens. Go back to XRP. $46, so it's just chilling, huh? Let's go to I'm gonna go to a 1 hour. 1 hour on the old XRP. Gosh, I just find this, I'm actually just more intrigued by it to see what's going to happen. I like when I find something to see if it's going to follow. Because I'm not even in a position where I'm like caring too much about the market. In the sense of, you know, I need to, I don't want to lose any money or anything because I'm kind of in that position where I'm like numb to it at the moment. Yeah, there's a chance that it's yeah, definitely not at the detailed level close, but it is creating a, you know, a lower high on the 1 hour. So if this continues to roll over, then there we have it. Slow it out way too early. It's gonna go a little run. Let me see if I got those. QSP. I'll check out the gaps on the other. Quant stamp. At least we got some data on this thing. This thing seems like it hasn't went yet. So typically, if we are getting another leg up, I would expect this thing to push, because I don't even think this thing has hit its pivots right. Let's go here. Let's go here. Fibonacci pivots. I mean, well, no, it's, yeah, still, it's at R1. So it should be at least going to R2. I mean, well, it needs to go to R2. It hit it once. Not really much gains. It'd be nice if it pushed all the way back up here, or at least our all-time high. 1200%, 10x it. So like that would be like an asset if I really wanted to. I could throw money at it and just hope to wait. But if all turns down and it comes down and checks S1, well, I just got worked, you know. S1, even this S1 down here, almost 90%. Let me check my gaps on Pundi. See if I got a Pundi gap chart. Nope. Let's check Pundi. What is it? NP? Is it what? NPXS? I can't remember what Pundi is. NPSX XS. Yeah. Pundi. Let's do a Bittrex chart right here. Let me turn this off. No, there definitely ain't anything on that. Thing's all a mess. NPXS. NPXS. Quant crashed before the others. Oh wait, what did you find? Like the historical. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me stop. I want to go check this. Look at that weekly wick, bro, that it's doing right now. Did it crash before them? Yeah, it started to. Let's pull this up. Great job, Jago. That's why I fucking love doing this stuff, man. For you to go back and even hunt that. Like, I wouldn't even... There's so much work to be done. Let's look at this. So here goes the crash. So you're referring to the COVID crash. So let's see how they unfolded. Let's just run it up against XRP. Oh, I think that's what you're referring to. Is that what you're talking about? I mean, they seem like they're kind of going together here. 12th day, yeah. Is this what you're referring to? They seem like they're pretty similar, but let me know what you saw. Hey Chris, is it possible to get an export of the gaps? I can't make out where they are at on the screen. Yeah, I can export this. I already have it. You're gonna have to email me you have to give me your email address, Derek, and then you're gonna just import it right here where the plus symbol is. Wait, sorry. You're gonna go up here to the like 3 dots, and then you're gonna go import list, and that'll get it in there. So I'm gonna export it. The only thing is, I don't know if my lines are gonna come over. So whatever my drawings and stuff are, you're gonna probably have to go through them yourself and find them. But at least you have the chart with the gaps, so you can learn to find them on here. Let me go back to the Pundy thing, and Jago, yeah, let me know on your what you found on that quant thing. So npxs tether. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can find anything on this one right now. So I'll just run to an hour, and there's probably gonna be a let's see. Nothing. That one got filled. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nope. I gotta go underneath that wick. Nothing. Oh my gosh. What the hell is that? Nothing on that one, and Pete. I usually do the like that say like dollar, tether, hitbit. I don't think I have a chart with this. I think there's nothing on these. Oh wait, yeah, there's one right there. So hold on, I got at least got one for you. Right there's a gap. We got one. Yeah. There's one up there too that hasn't been filled yet. Yeah, there's a gap there. So there's a gap above, man. So maybe it gets that now, maybe it gets it later. We'll find out. See if we find any more here. Those are all getting closed. It's just a crazy chart. Nothing. All I got is these two right now, man. So what I'll do is add that. That was the hit bit right here. Right here. So we added that. Hey Chris, what's been your most reliable method of finding the top of a coin? There's pivots you've discussed, and also fib levels. I made so many mistakes this run, pulling out way too soon. Yeah, Jake. Similar for me, man. It's so hard sometimes because they all don't. When it's time to go down, it's time to go down. So one will. I think the pivots. I mean, fractals obviously can help out too if you can read the fractal right. Let me see, Coach Derek. Okay, I'll send that to you when I get off here. Let me write that down real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Where's my pen at? Oh, got it. Coach Derek. At Gmail. Okay. I will send that over to you. I'm 2 hours late, so let me get my coffee out, some cookies, and awesome. All right, appreciate it. You're welcome, brother. I'll send that over to you. Okay, let me add Patrick. Yeah, if you guys want it, I can send it to you. Patrick added me his. Okay. Do you mind sending it to me? No problem at all. US chest. US chest one at Yahoo. Okay. There was something I was about to look at. What was I about to look at? Oh, I was looking at pivots and stuff. Yeah, it's some of them are shooting to different levels, and some of them are not. So I mean, right now it's, if you can, this way in the future, Jake, after gaps and stuff, you want to see which one's leading or showing signs of it, and once like a couple go, there's a good chance that the others are gonna go. But like if we go and we look at and I'm gonna get these. I seen Alexis and stuff was on here. Give me 1 second. Let me grab Alex Speaks here. B 2241 Gmail. Creative Forest. Forest. 00 at Gmail. Got it. No problem. And so when I send the file to you, it's a text file. Just you got to import it. Okay. So let's go to what was I gonna do? I forgot. Let me go back. Let me add X. Go back to XRP and stuff on here just to see what these guys are. 4619. Yeah, this thing needs to. If it's gonna slip, man, it needs to get going, because the more it delays, the more it doesn't make sense. Unless that's about to be a push-up and a drop. Pop, lock, and drop it. Alright, DJ, I'll send it to you too. I got ears. Alrighty. Okay. They do run together. I was looking at November, I guess. Alright, no problem, brother. No sweat, man. I need to keep an eye on that, though, because its behavior right now is a little different. I can't believe that thing shot up 77%. This scale. This was supposed to go on Coinbase too. Dude, just in March alone, like right here. Like, who would have thought? 400% right here? Up? I mean, this is, I mean, if this is out front, we can make some damn plays if this is out front. 24 hours. It got added. It got added. Oh, it did get added. Okay. Got it. It's already on Coinbase. Alright. My bad. When did it get added? Like a while ago? Yeah, Jacob, you on that 3 a.m. kick right now. I mean, this would be something that could happen, you know, if everything just keeps going. Oh, it was today. No shit. Well, there you go. I watched these. There's Request Network. Luna hasn't even went on there yet. There goes that win, which is one of those ones you can get. There's more than these, but these are just some. There goes, look, there goes Ampleforth. Yeah, the Ample. Dude, what a great, like, dude, just going, just literally January. Buying and holding that in January. I mean, 1,200%. May go check Reef and High for me. Again, go chain on the weekly. Gosh. Definitely went through the R3 right there. And this is what makes it tough. So now let's look at some more of like possibility of bullish stuff. And not just... So Quant is already over its R3. It's got a nasty weekly wick on the top right now, which might indicate that this is going to roll over. What was the other one? Sorry. You want daily? Let me see, Reef and Hive. Let me just look at those Reef and Hive real quick. Look at this Reef, man. Ooh, I like this. 10x, close out the wick. I like this Reef one. I'd have to go and get it on, that's on the regular Binance though. I'd probably have to go there to get it. Binance US doesn't have that for me. Wah, wah, wah. But that's 300 on that one. Let me go to Hive. Do you want it on the daily? So Hive still showing that can go to R3. So a couple 100% there. If it does, closes out that wick. Yeah, it's, gosh, so interesting. Which way this stuff is gonna go, man. Evoke code at Gmail. Okay. Make daily both again. Okay. Let me go to daily. Here's kind of what the fractals looking like right there. So if they want to run with that, You got this coming through, so yeah, you'd be in this cup and you'd be looking to do a nice little push through the R on Hive. If you're rolling Hive, you would then look for a nice push there. I mean, I might make plays here. I'm just don't know which ones I'm gonna do. Let me look at that reef. So this would be a way that you would try to analyze it. So then you would think this pushes through. You know, at least something like that, and get a couple 100% off that. I still can't believe Grin hasn't even done a thing. How behind that thing is. See, then one could think maybe does Digibyte push through? You know? Does Digibyte get a good push there? Fractals are very similar, man. They run into these cups. You know, that's the thing is that. Let's go Bitcoin. So does Bitcoin go and get a push? Bitcoin goes to 100,000. I've been looking at, man. I'm in both at the moment, making a small play. I missed the hopping. About Forest. Why can't I see Hydra? Let's go to dump first. Force. If it was to push through here, I mean, once again, like 200%. But some of these, poor road. OCN. See, I still was looking at OCN. Look at this. I'm like, do I jump on this one? Because look where it's at. This is what I played with a little bit, man. I'm like in and out, in and out. I wrote it up already once. So yeah, I can pull at least 200% off that. As long as the damn thing doesn't die on me. Same with top. Look at top. I mean, do I go back in some of these or what? Look at that. Nice little 400%er right there, bro. Look at that. AOA. If it was to pull this little curve move here. Moving averages are in different position to this one, so it'll be over like 150% possibly, something like that. This one has gaps above AOA. No investment advice, right? Definitely not investment advice. You guys do it. Make a live play. Yeah, I mean, I typically would just start buying shit. I did that on MHC. I saw it starting to go. I'm like, yo, you're gonna pump again, and I grabbed a quick 100% literally within an hour when it was on here. I grabbed it was like right here. Yeah, I grabbed it. I probably sold like somewhere around here. Make a little play there. See, this one doesn't really fully look like it. It's there goes algo. So does algo get another push? I mean, at some point they're not going to be pushing like this anymore. Does band get another push? I think it's okay to, you know, be half in and half out. You know, try to get that. Remember, we're hoping that you're hoping that it goes and follows this kind of behavior there. Like this one kind of did right here. Constellation. So it's like, is Digibyte at 6 cents gonna go? Those still look pretty interesting, but I like Odyssey. I like Top Nomad. I like I like UTK, man, and I like that ample. If ample can do what I think it can do, but I even like this. Like here goes UTK. I like where it's at, so then it could push through right here. A little 49, little 49.5 right now. So this is only showing a little bit, but I think it can go higher than that. So XRP's up a little bit, a little 462. It's like the only one. What's Zappa you doing? As long as they keep going right here, that's the problem. It's like you gotta hope. We gotta hope that this isn't a pull down, because if we go and we pull 80K, look, this is how it can be. And I'm not trying to say this is the say-all, but here you go. So you can be like, oh, we're in the cup together, right? And instead of it going through R3, instead of me measuring those like I was just doing, and I was going through R3 like this. All right, man. Well, the opposite happened. It said, no, let's go back down. Damn. So yeah, it's well, if we go to quant, let's go look at quant to see what quant's doing versus this. Well, let me stop at Grin. So like, let's say Grin ends up, look at Grin's moving averages cutting. They're like all together right there. Has it done that before? I don't think so. But look at that. That's very interesting. They're all like, that's. So Grin, if it did it, yeah, 200-300% just to go to R3 on the daily. If it pushed to R3 and it did well above it like that, I mean, that's why I like that one. Yeah, 300-400% if that's legit. They need to go up and not roll over. But hey, maybe some of these pop like this while Bitcoin is rolling over, while Bitcoin's falling. These would pull up, but I mean, that's really, this is just stupid, this one. I mean, damn, this breaks my heart. I missed that one. Where's I going to quant? That's what I wanted. Let me see what Neo looks like. Yeah, same thing with Neo. Like, if someone's like, oh, I like Neo, man. It's a solid one to try to make a bet on. You get probably 100% on that. I mean, I could easily have all my money in the market. It's super easy right now. Like, this one popped up right here. Like, GoChain. Can Pundi go again? Probably. Like 200%. OGN already did its move. Boom. Maybe it goes more. OXT. I can just go through all of them. MT, did he call that one? Oh, wow. What a shot that was. Look at that. 500, like, in 5 days. That's those XNS ones. That is a crazy one. I remember him looking at that. What a shot that was. Some of these assets, boy. There goes MHC. I can get this one. Look at this little guy. Dude, this meta hash, I can get this on Qcoin. It almost makes me think, like, do I just, because I had money and I should have just let it ride, right? I had it right here. If it went over R3, it's almost a 10x when I had it the other day. So if I bought it now, it's at pivot. It can still You know what I mean? It can still turn up and shoot 3, 4, 500%, right? Fucking meta hash, bro. Did we go at the meta hash? So maybe don't go for coins that are basically only on KuCoin. Yeah, true. They can turn on you. And there goes that Swift coin. What would that pull? Yeah. Still, I mean, I'm still good, but... There goes that toe coin. Top. I kind of like top. Again. Like, it's got the best on it, I think, right now. Like, it's one of those... It's got to be a China coin or something because it's running at 11. The hours are different. MHC to the moon. Yeah. Let's see that win. This was another one. This can go on Coinbase. So if you want to roll the dice on some of these, it's like, hey, if you're going to let it go and just ride it, like roll the ones that can go on Coinbase. So it's like, all right, win. You can get that on KuCoin. That can go to Coinbase. That already went on there. Let me look at request. Herbos Neo movie block. MTA. Yeah, some of these can go on there. Barnbridge. Ampleforth. Never know, man. So it's like, does it hurt to throw? Nah, it doesn't, but... Barnbridge. So is algo gonna go over? Gonna push up over that? R3? Blue Zell looks like it's ran its course, but then again it's wick, and maybe we can go up there and get that. So that means Bitcoin would go to, I mean, who knows if this keeps going. As long as that doesn't happen. I can't believe BSV hasn't even done anything either. Like, this thing hasn't done anything. Like, that's why there's always an opportunity. So if someone's like, oh man, you missed the boat. It's like, well, I can just buy this and make, I mean, obviously it's only 100%. But who knows? That thing might just rocket up to a crazy level. Yeah, I might just go fill that wick, right? Like, that's straight up consolidation. Like, I just think I could just see this thing just shooting straight up, freaking 900%, right? I could run a trend line across the top of this and make sense to that. Take that off. I mean, if we ran a trend line to the top of that, is that what's going to happen here? Buy Bitcoin SV. Top of the channel is 400. Go get the wick. 937. Throw 10 grand at it. Hope for a nice 900,000. Well, no, that would be, sorry. 10 ain't gonna do that. And get a little 90 off it. BSV was adopted by a whole ass country. Not gonna lie, Chris. I'm going balls to the wall with this while I can. Hopefully I'll survive and get out before the dump. Yeah, just do what you can, man. I mean, I'm sure you'll be fine, man. Or, you know, maybe you'll get gains before it happens. You know, if it, if the gaps get closed, you know. But you know, you can see how there's plenty of money to be made at any point, like, you know. And at least you got, and the thing is, but you guys are probably willing to cash out. Like many people would be like, I ain't cashing out. I'm holding. This thing's going higher. And you guys are like, no, it's just going to probably crash, but I'm going to get what I can out of it. You know, kind of have that attitude. Let me see. Let me go back over here. So you guys got me now FOMOing back in, maybe. I'm in, I'm out. I'm in, I'm out. I'm in, I'm out. Yeah, so, whoops. File is, this one has a good wick on it. I just don't know if that's the legit one, because you know how there's certain ones that don't have a lot of data. But yeah, file says if it went to its R3, it'd be 3,200%, which could happen, but it's 42 to 900. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, if you just buy some of these and hold them, you're good. Because, like, if they go and hit the R3, you're good either way. Let me see what Tether shows. Fuck, man, Tether has that wick up there too, man. Tether has it, yeah, if it goes to R3, 1,300. No, XRP hasn't. Where's XRP? Well, actually, let me back it up. It did already once. No, wait, I'm sorry, it never did. No. So R3, this is why I don't, look, R3 is 134%. That's why I'm like, I mean, unless it goes up here, back all over all-time high, clears it, goes to that R3, that's 10x. So to me, it's like, well, if XRP goes to $1, it's like whatever, but you know, there's other opportunities. And then if I bought in at $1, I can get up high. I don't know, man. It's like, I'm torn. And when I look at this fractal, and I look at this right now, you see these moving averages? I'm going to take the lights off here. You see how the yellow comes over, the blue comes over? I think that red comes over. I've seen this happen before. Yellow comes over, blue comes over. I think red comes over. I think it happened on the 5-day. Me and a bunch of us were looking. We're like, hey, and it was true. Here goes. So does it happen on the weekly? Well, if it happens on the weekly, I mean, at some point it probably doesn't need to keep copying, but it did it here, did it here, did it here, which dropped it. So if it goes again, it's going to drop that thing. I don't know why. I just look at this area here, man. It just feels like a missing area, like all up under here. I just feel like it needs to come back down here and check this S1. I feel like they need to come and check these S1s. Doesn't seem right to me. It was a 5-day, right, Milan? Check out the NBS, Cocos, and Cake. They might be good. Let me check Cake. Cake. Don't got much data on this one. But let's just say it closed its wick. Nothing major. Give me 1 second. Let me check my IG here. I don't see anything. I got a text from you, Milan. Okay, you can resend it. What do we do, man? Do we buy some more? So Grin, some of these ample. Ooh, that bitch just did that again this week. This was the best for this week on this one. A little 200%er this week. Watch, I'm gonna freaking jump in on the market to make a play, to do some trading, and then it's gonna come crashing back on me. What was this one at? Ended up pulling 285. Not bad, not bad. All right, I gotcha. Do you think there's another retest, Milan? One test, two. Oh, one down there, 2, 3, 4. You think there's another one on that? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you can just hold this to what? All-time high would be 3,000. If this 23 hour stays red, I'll stay out. If it's green, I'm back in. If this goes back to like 2019, this will pull 3 almost on it on Grin. I'm playing Grin, XDC, RSR, Ample, AOA, Algo, and Kava. That's a good batch right there. One of those gots to work. Yeah, that's true, Milan. I'm stuck in gap or no gap. Yeah, I just got your last one. I guess we'll, I mean, time's about to tell. Oh, XRP just dropped that 45, 47 now. 45.7. So XRP just pulled back down on that move right there, guys. See how it closes, though. Dude, I've noticed between 11 and 12 o'clock things can get activated. What's Bitcoin doing? Oh, hey, thanks, Nomad. I mean, I'm still right now at that moment where I'm like, well, I had a good run for some things, but I gotta keep working to finish up. Pull the rabbit out the hat. So Bitcoin's doing a little bit of a pull down here on that 23 hour. Interesting. Let's see if this This 200 moving average really is interesting to me, pointing down like this. When did I see this? Milan, do you remember? When I said this is weird, it was on the 5-day, wasn't it? I said that 5-day or something was pointing down. I was like, that 200 is pointing down on XRP. It was on a certain chart. I won't forget it. And I'm like, that's not normal, guys. That's a sign that something's about to happen. And it was. I think it had to do with this crash back here. Something I was watching, it was like, that doesn't make sense. Go to, I can't remember some of these things. I know, it doesn't make sense that that's moving down with no real move. No reason to be pointing down like that for a 200 moving average. You know, if it was someone in the smaller time frames, I'd get it. But that time frame seems a little odd to me to be doing that right now. It was something, it was a weird, it was only that one, and I was just like, that's kind of strange that it's pointing down when it shouldn't be. Look at the moving averages here. This was a 4-day. Maybe it was a 2-day. No. You see how it doesn't point down until it's time to go down. Look at that 2-day arc, though. Look at that 2-day moving average pointing down like that. That 2-day doesn't seem like it just wants to sling up, right? But then again, you can argue that case right here. Say, well, it was pointing down right there, and then it pushed up. So one can argue that case right there, but the difference is the moving averages. This was at a top here. This is where they pop. They pop up here. So whenever you push them up here to the top, that's when they'll pop and run up. Pop, pop. But we're right here at a weird point, moving down like that. Let me go just look just strictly at these moving averages here. I mean, the 200's on a nice little an up, but if look at that. So if you go to the 200, see the 200's like an up, but if you go to the 23 hour, they're both down. I got 2 down. Have I ever had a yellow and a red down? Close enough right there. Coming off a Mountaintop. A yellow and a red down. Yeah, right here. May 2018. That's the closest one I got. Yellow and a red down and a blue up. Blue up, yellow and a red down. Right? So let's open up this. So if a yellow down, a red down, and a blue up, I mean, I know that's not a good move. You know? So yellow down, red down, blue up. That means we'd be something like this. So should I look at that fractal in there? Say like, what are you doing? You're drawing like a coming up. Oh. red pointing down on the 23 hour just means that it would be going down if that's the case, you know? At least something's happening. If the red's pointing down, something is supposed to be moving down. But the only spot we had that it was kind of doing that was right here. Let me see this. What does that look like right there? Still went down. Got a head and shoulders happening. It's hard to argue right now that the damn thing's gonna go up. 45.5. Sure as hell's eating that wick, coming back down. What do we got right here in the MACD? Well, we got it trying to come through in the MACD right now. Damn it, I just feel like there could be a nasty candle. Because this, where it was curling, is where I think we're kind of at. You know, so I'm like looking at us right here. And like down here, where we're curling down here. And it's going to run flat. God, what a sneaky, sneaky, sneaky chart, man. Was on the LAD2 public stream. Oh, on the last public stream. This is just 56. So there goes Bitcoin's one right now. If Bitcoin wants to go down, this is the only thing that holds me off with like doing the. I need to keep this tight right here. Only thing holding me back from like jumping in this space and making some plays right now is stuff like this that I'm like, if you start to slip on me and pull this move right here. Because you both came and did a cup and then you come down. So you go into a cup and then you come down. It'd be dry. It could be super nasty. 45.5. Oh boy, what's XLM looking like? It's exactly what I do all the time, if you guys are wondering. Still 51 of you guys in here. I literally will go. Did you guys see NEM? Look at NEM. It's already down 30% from its kind of high point here. Let me slide back up here. Let's see what we got here. So easy to get caught up on each bar. Yeah, nothing super crazy yet. Oh, nano. Hey Chris, catching this straight later. Any word on Theta? It hit $8. I think it's the top. Dude, I thought Theta's been the top blondes for a while. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that thing was already done. I just think now that they're done pumping some of these, it's one of the better ones. Yeah, I mean with the wicks like that on the 23. I mean, if you were to sell or whatever, you're selling at a point like this. I mean, Ain't nothing wrong with taking profits when you're, if you rode this thing up. Yeah, the NEM, Patrick, it's, let me go back to XEM. Well, you know, you look back here, you can see that it likes to slip through. I mean, at some point, this is where, you know, if it, once it's time to slip through, you'll see it. It'll cut through and it'll go all the way down. So I I just, a part of me, just my gut tells me, I'm like, this is worse than we think it is. Like, I feel like we could be right here, right? And like this thing can just literally slice through, boom, like that. See that move? Comes through to the red. So it'd slide all the way to the red right here to 33 cents, right? It would then pull up and it would literally drop a nastiness like that. And everyone would be like, what the hell just happened? Well, we just went in COVID lockdown or something. You know, it drops that nasty pull. I mean, and that's when I strike. I want to strike because the recovery is just stupid on everything at that point. You know, NEM up 1700, we'll go back up 1700%. Like, it, you, at that moment, you just won. If you stayed away and you caught it, you know, you're able to dodge it. At that moment, you won. You might as well just say you just won. Like, you're able to, you just were a little bit more patient than others, you know. But that's only if that happens, you know. That's what I think happens, though. But that's just me. That could be the guy that just waits and watches. Can you analyze VRA chart? Seems to look different from the rest. I can't work it out. Alright, let's check it. VRA. Oh, this veracity. Is this the one you're talking about? The veracity? Okay, there goes. That was a nice push, man. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely had a nice push. It's kind of getting a nasty 23 hour. What is the Fibonacci pivots show? Oh wow, thing cleared house, man. I mean, not that it can't go more, but I mean that was a great success on it. 10x. XEM has that snapshot on BitTrue soon for XYM. Just trying to learn more and get. Thanks, Chris. You're welcome, brother. I can just imagine a train crossing under a bridge and a bridge collapsing right under. Like everyone's crossing. I mean, that's pretty much what it would be, boss. Look at these algo. This algo on the weekly. Look at these candle behavior here. When I see this, the closing of these, and I see these two wicks like this to me is just reminds me of this. This tells me a bearish reversal. Like that's how I would read that. Is bearish reversal. You're coming down. You're at least coming back down to this level here, the pivot. Which, if I took that and said, "Oh, you're gonna come back down to the pivot," and then I went to like, let me just go to 80K here. 45.6. If I go 80K, go to the weekly, go to Fibonacci pivots. What did it do? Comes right back down to the pivot. Came right back down to the pivot. So yes, it curled up and went to R3 like we did, but then it came right back down to the pivot. So that's what concerns me with a lot of these, is that you can do this curl right here and push up and go to R3, but then are you going to come back down to the pivot? Well, that's what XRP did. Once again, it's just the power of patience, man. I mean, if you can slide away and make some money, I'm all for it. This came all the way back down to S1. If this comes down to this S1, that's 10 cents. Clears out the wick. I just feel that if this S1 is of value right here, I think I like my gut tells me and my mind tells me, Chris, buy S1, bro. You can get it. You know, like you can get this S1, man. Like that's what it tells me. Like I could see this coming down and getting this S1, and then what happens is this gets S1 and it clears out all my gaps. So all my gap charts All this has to do is come back down to S1. It'll clear them. And, you know, that's what could definitely happen. You know, 45.5. I can see this happening, coming down here. And this is where, once again, if you're watching Tori's stuff, you're just like, well, how is that happening? It's like, well, he's big on ZRX. I am big on ZRX too. And it's like, if this comes down here to the S1 and we can clear this, because I have gaps. I have a ton of gaps on ZRX. Like, I have 9 charts that say there's gaps down here. If I can buy S1, it's game over for me. Meaning that as long as the crash happens, it's over. Like, by the end of the year, I'll pull several millions of dollars if that happens. By the end of the year, I'd be able to pull that, because I would think that the whole thing would end up just ripping right back up. You know, even if it took a year, I mean, I'm just watching steadily insane gains happen. Pretty much, Nomad. I mean, it's the reason why I'm being patient, is that, you know, it can go back to the TNT fractal that many people probably think enough's enough. It's not going to happen. Obviously, this completely went down here, but once again, is there some value here from this? You know, it came and hit S1. It then went up. It didn't go. It only went to R2. This never went to R3, but it went down to S1. If I can rip through S1. Let me see who else. The 80K. Did that hit S1 too? Let me go to 80K. Look at 80K. 80K went up, went all the way down through S1, all the way up to R3, now back down to its pivot. Oh, well, I guess it almost kind of really went down here. I feel like these are pushing up here, and that's going to come down. And then rocket up, and then go through here, and then go up. I had this on the mini fractal. Like, I felt like this stair stepping that 80K did. See, I felt like this little hoop here was this hoop. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I always looked at this, is that this little push-up is like this doing this. And then we need to all, like, come down like that. And then push, and then boom, up to R3, down the pivot, and then again. It's definitely, man. Before the end of the bull market or after, brother? It's Nomad. I thought it would already. I would think that we'd be starting now, man. Like, we were be in it. You know. That's my honest, like, opinion. My gut, everything. Or not even really my gut. Like, I just felt like this is topped out, but some of these are just, you know, like this. Didn't think this was gonna push that high right now. So this says that algo would, like, if this was the copy, this means algo pushes up again, right? So algo would be right here, and this would state, if all is good, this would state that algo pushes up another leg right here. Boom, you know. However, here's the thing, man. This already did this a while ago, you know. It pushed up back in January, so months. So if these are lagging, which they are, at what point do you say, well, because we know that they can just, when it's time to go down, this is time to go down on this fractal, then this will just come down right here. It's not going to make the leg up. That's the problem, is that you can't keep saying, like, well, you can try and it can work out in your favor, but all right, well, 88 did this, so this one's got to do it now, you know? Yes, there's truth to that when you can catch on early and you got time, but there comes a time, which I can't predict this, when this says, no, I'm done, I'm going to come back down. And then if you dump 20,000, 30, 40, 50 here, and you're looking for that move up, and it ends up becoming the move down, which would be like this, right here, perfect example, didn't go up and follow ADA, right? Didn't follow anything else that pushed up. It did the opposite, and it went all the way down to the pivot. It's now hanging out. Well, we're hanging out right here, so it's not as bad at the moment. But we don't know if it's going to continue or if you're going to go down some more. That's how it can. I mean, once again, this thing came back down to its. I'll tell you what. If this thing does come back down on the weekly to the pivot, we buy that because then we can get the bounce off of it, right? We can buy that pivot and we can get a nice bounce off, and then I'll probably sell again. Yeah, I guess you're right, Jago. Just trust that it's just picking up passengers, man. It's literally what, if it does what I think it does, it's gonna really, no one's gonna want to touch crypto again. Some of my crypto buddies keep saying they don't believe a hard correction would come, trying to warn them before it's late and everything was going on economic wise. Yeah, Blondes. I mean, that right there, your buddies know, not being mean at all, of just their thinking, and is a lot of people's thinking, and is enough to tell me that's what it's designed to do, and it's got everyone drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, when I got people coming up to me asking me, "Hey man, what do you think of Dogecoin or Dogcoin?" And I'm like, I don't even know what to say, man. I'm like, I just tell them, like, stay away from it, man. They're like, really? And I'm like, dude, what do you even know anything about that? I'm like, this is interesting with basic attention token right now. I'm doing a little bit of a pullback here from its top, down 11% off that guy right now. Once again, if this comes through, I just need to see if this is going to come through or not. If this doesn't come through, I'm gonna go. I'll make some plays. But if this slips through and I see it come down here and go right through this yellow and hit the blue, some people are probably gonna think, "Oh man, buy, man, this is gonna be," and then it comes down again, and then again, and now we're back down to 28 cents. Now I'm back down to freaking. This is before I sold, below where I sold. I'll tell you that. This is where I sold. This is why I'm not upset, really, because, I mean, obviously I needed to come back to not be fully upset, is I sold right here, basic attention token, right here. Let me make sure I did that right. Actually, I'm wrong. Right here. That's where I sold. So, someone might be like, "Oh, you sold early." I'm like, well, if I've been in it for a while, I bought a bunch here, so if I've sold right here at like 40 cents, let's call it, I mean, yeah, I missed 95, 100%, 95 at the moment. But if this pulls back, well, now I'm back to where I sold. So I'm now like, but I have knowledge and I have information, and other people might not have that. And next thing you know, it starts slipping more. And now I'm like, really, for a win. I don't know why I didn't buy right back in. I literally shorted that perfectly. I could have then bought right back in and then sat there and just waited my ass and then went and killed it on a bunch of things, but life didn't give that to me. It didn't give me that information at the time. Oh yeah, let me look at T-Fuel. Do I got any of them over here? Yeah, let's grab it right here. Let's go T-Fuel. Yeah, that's just stupid. 38 cents. Look at that. 30,000% from March, a year ago. Who would have thought that Theta Fuel was going to do it? What's the other one? Not Theta Fuel, but VThor. Which is now probably kicking butt too, right? Shit, so do we buy VThor? Same damn thing, right? Let me put those side by side. So it comes off the, it's at its pivot, so let's say it's right here. It's up there, and if it pushed up, there, pull 3,000%. Just shows moving forward. Yeah, don't question how much money can enter this market and where prices can really go. Yeah, I agree. I just felt like it's always just a computer. They can just freaking make it whatever they want. They can make the price whatever they want. So they were both, this one at its base, well, we can't even see at this price. They're both at, I mean, right now it's at 0.006. That's right here. Oh man. It's best to have like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? That's what you do. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. XRP slipping, huh? Yeah, 45.5. Oh, I see that candle. Yeah, 17 minutes left on that candle. Came up, closed that wick. It'll probably come back down here. I just feel like this wick needs to get filled more. Yeah, so what are we gonna do? When XO connects in the upcoming correction, it will easily hit double digits. Crypto credit loans next. So yeah, I got that over here. Let me look at that. Oh man, XO. Down. Let's see what it's done on the weekly. I'll just come over here and do it. Cleared out its wick. Pretty much. Boy. Tonight I'm going to sleep on the floor, just trying it out. Get comfortable with that floor level. That's where we're going, to the floor. Tell you what, man, that thing does. It's the most beautiful position you ever get. Oh, whoa. Oh, shit. Here goes, look at NEM right now. Was it already like that? Or did that just do that recently? 24%? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I just dropped a nasty 1 hour. That's a 1 hour, guys. Dude, that's a 24% 1 hour, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Everything's good. Dude, that might be a sign right there, man. That we gotta watch the fuck out. It just happened. We gotta watch out, man. Just be cautious. Because we could be entering in right there, and then... that's a candle body right there. Right here is where it's at. There is a wick there, but that's a nasty... It's not pulling back up. That's a 3 hour candle right now. Let me look at the daily. Yeah, look at the daily. That's what the daily looks like right now. You know, that's a 24% daily at the moment. So, I mean, it was a 35, 36. So we need to look at this a little bit further, because we might be getting signs of what's ahead. Yeah, see, it slipped over the top over here. So here goes its first cup. This one's definitely a little bit different, but that just goes to show you that it wasn't that much different, right? Boom, cups up. It just did it its own way and then dropped that in there. So if that's the case, that might be a shift happening that we're just Don't know yet. The people don't know yet. And it drops to the pivot. Let's see. Yeah, let's go weekly on weekly. Here, I'll go over here to... Yeah, the pivot is 18 cents. So is that what's going to happen here? This is going to die out. Come all the way down to the pivot. No, wait. Yeah, pivot's 18 cents. Where these cross. See, if these get weak here and send this over, it's going to pull this down. Yeah. What happened to XRP with this snapshot of... Yeah, the FLR spark. Now XM snapshot of XM. Oh, okay. This markup. Yeah, that weekly looks pretty, it's at 25. Yeah, this is a weekly candle right now. Let me see what the daily looks like on this. Oh yeah, look, it's eating it up right now, guys. That's the daily. S1 on that. I think I got gaps on this. Let me see what gaps I have on NEM. Yeah, S1 comes down to 6 cents, which would be the top of that pivot there. Let me see what I got on the old gaps here. Yeah, see, like now we got more, and that's not really like, you know, a shit chart. Do I have any XAM? Let me go gap hunting for this thing. I haven't even looked at gaps on this. Don't have them. Let's go gap hunting, guys. See if we got anything. Gosh, that is just that. Look at that hourly candle. That's an hourly candle. Welcome to crypto. He bought. Okay, another. He bought. All right, let me see if I can let's find some gaps here. Doesn't look like much on this chart. Let me try NEM.D, see if the dominance. There was a gap there that got closed. Gap there got closed. This chart does do gaps. So we just need to find out if it's got anything low on here where it's like, all right, well, there you go. Oh boy. It's a close one, man. What do you think? Call it? Skip it? Skip it? We'll just skip that gap. Not enough. Oh, got one. Clears the... Oh. Yeah, never got filled. Here you go. Gap. 5 cents. This gap got filled. You see it? See how that little guy got filled right there? Oh yeah. Oh no. Yep, got one. We got more. It's a good size gap right here. Money. 4 cent. Those are probably the only two I got. What's that right there? Dude, something bad happens to this market, dude. I'm telling you, that's a good sized gap right there. Something bad happens, man. That's all I can say. Something freaking bad happens. And I hate to sound like Debbie Downer. It's just the data saying something bad happens. Doesn't make sense. Why everything would be good with these gaps like this. Alright, so there goes a Poloniex. That was my first one right there. So go ahead and open that up. And you can see we got gaps down below here. And this thing is just getting ate up right now. So we'll go ahead and add this to the crew. This is Poloniex. There you go. 26. He bought, not bad. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. We won't celebrate yet, but I'll tell you what, that's 46% just from right there. March, we'll just call it March 7th. So within 4 days, it dropped 46%. So somebody could have bought in on NEM. I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. And you never know, that could be happening across the board here soon. This is Binance. So Binance isn't as bad, or maybe it is. So Binance. That's Poloniex right there. It's the worst in everybody's. Bittrex, Hitbit. Ooh, that one went all the way down to, Hitbit went all the way down to 37. I mean, that's a pretty nasty candle on a, remember this was an hourly candle. That's not a little stair step to get down there. That's a straight dagger, and it's got room to go on the stochastic. What a little, wow. Yeah, I feel you. Till I can go no longer hold them. Boom. Yep. You're welcome, 10-inch pizza. I do want a 10-inch pizza right now. It's so much better, dude. Yeah, we don't need a big, I don't need a big group to, you know, like to feel like, oh, you know, I got all these followers. I'm popular. Maybe it's because I had some, you know, high school was good, you know. We're all a big family. Everyone was kind of popular in a way. Everyone knew everyone, so I got the feel from that already. Blue Zell. What did that NEM look like on the, let me go to the back side here. I think that stupid code bill will cause a brief, I mean really brief, short-term pump. I just had a tendency while watching the charting games. Oh damn, no man. Yeah, Pete, the that COVID bill, man. Hey, they're sending me $1,400, and I think it's nonsense. I mean, I'll take it, but I'm just like, why are you sending me $1,400, man? Like, that's not necessary. But hey, they want to give it to me. So we are through. So we're here, man. This is what's happening. Sliding through. There you go. First one right here. So it's running across the bottom. So then, yeah, so this will run across the bottom. The IRS took $30,000 from me in 2019, so I get nada. Yeah, they keep sending me money, man. They're trying to help me out. Alright, guys. I'll call it a wrap. Just, you guys know what to do. Just watch. You know, you can, there's obviously, it looks like there's some charts. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? I keep seeing this thing fall behind my screen. There's obviously some charts that show that can be some money made, so feel free to, you know, try to tackle that. If you don't want to, then you have that option too. I think I'm going to see what tomorrow brings. Let's see if it's going to bring us a candle like that. That is just gorgeous to me. Yeah, see you guys. Have a good night, guys.